Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for day 2 of the second test match of the Ashes. Yesterday, England, they were trying their best to be able to get the Aussie top order out, but 221 for 2 is how it is sitting. There is a common saying in the world of cricket, and that is catches win matches. And unfortunately for England, they were putting down just a few too many of them yesterday. Labuschagne dropped most recently on 95 runs, which is what he is sitting on at the moment. As you can see, 95 runs of 275 deliveries. His persistence at the crease will be causing the England Quicks all kinds of problems there. So we'll have to wait and see whether or not they will be able to get that breakthrough wicket in this first session already. They were able to pick up Marcus Harris extremely early on in the first day, 3 runs of 28. Warner falling on that 95 as well, very close to getting himself the century of 167 balls. Next to bat, they've got Travis Head, they've got Cameron Green, they've got Alex Carey, the hometown boy, and they have got a batting lineup that will be willing to put in the shift today so that they can try and wear down the English bowlers once again. It's going to be 35 to 40 degrees here at the Adelaide Oval, and also we have got the how are you as well in the chat from Ollie Wilson and also Hindi Songbell. I hope you guys are all doing well. And yeah, I hope you guys are excited for this one. We have Scott Paddy Wagon, but do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, we have got a poll running at the moment. How many wickets are England going to be able to get in this first session of the Ashes for day 2? I would say they need both Labuschagne and Smith out if they do want a chance of trying to cut them off at a decent-ish total. I guess you could say, because 221 already on the board. Australia will be liking that very much. They weren't scoring at the quickest run rate for yesterday, but they have still been out there. They've been batting time, and they have got plenty of time left in this test match. So they will be looking to probably only have to bat once, and then maybe if they really need to have a bit of a bat at the end of day 4 or 5. But nonetheless, at this stage, we are only sitting about 7 minutes away. Hope you're well, Hamish. Hope everyone's well as well. Says Sebastian, I am indeed. I'm excited to see how this battle goes because we did see yesterday couple mistakes from England in the field. They will be tired. They will be sore for today, and it is why it's going to be so tough for them to be able to try and get these big wickets of Labuschagne and also Steve Smith. There we go. I did adjust my headset. There was one piece of hair that was annoying me. It was coming down. It was trying to be like Superman, but I'm not Superman. I'm just talking very fast at the moment for the Ashes, and it is coming up extremely soon as well. So I hope you guys are all doing well. I hope you're all excited to see some action of the Ashes today. I think Australia, they will come out a little bit more aggressive than they did for yesterday overall, because they did actually only have about 15 runs after the first 10 overs of it last night's session, I was going to say, because we are kind of sitting 5 p.m. as the starting. I voted for 2 wickets in this session. We need them like air and water as well, says Sebastian. They do indeed. Stuart Broad, Jimmy Anderson, they were bowling it just a little bit too short in the first day. If they pitch up that length, perhaps they will be able to pick up themselves a wicket or two. We did see that when the ball was outside of the off stump and at a decent length, Marnus Labuschagne, every once in a while, that's the thing, 275 balls, that man will just sit at the crease as well. So every time he does go forward, maybe there's just that little tiny chance that he will be able to get the edge through to the keeper. But that's the problem at the moment. Josh Butler putting Marnus Labuschagne down twice. They'll be hoping he gets a little bit more of an edge on it. Goes to Joe Root at first slip so that he can bag that one and get that wicket that day. So does I. Hamish, you're a nice friend as well, says Ollie Wilson. I do appreciate you being here, mate, for what this one is. Labuschagne is patient by looking at his score as well, says Arlo. Yeah, not a lot of batsmen would be willing to just sit at the crease and just keep on tapping it out. It's similar to Pujara, I guess you could say, in a way, for India, how he will just sit there all day. He will just block that ball. He will wear down the bowlers. His job is pretty much to wear down those bowlers. Labuschagne normally a little bit more aggressive. We did see him get a total of 71 runs in the first test match. I'm Ayush as well. I will remember to call you Ayush as well, mate. But yeah, at the moment, Labuschagne, we saw in that first innings, he was able to get himself 71 in the last test match, as we can see here. That's the fall of wickets for England. That is not what we wanted there. But this is indeed what we wanted. Warner was 94, so he got 95. So probably more than likely in the third one, he'll get himself 96, 97 in the fourth, 98 in the fifth, and he will be closer and closer to bringing up that century. But Labuschagne, as we can see there, the strike rate of 63.3 at the moment. He is going at a strike rate of total of 34.55, and Steve Smith, he is going at 25.35. So, but neither man really trying to rush it. The new ball was taken very late in the day for England, and it was looking like maybe they were going to be able to get their breakthrough wicket, but like I mentioned, it was dropped as well. Reed loves Harvey Doles as well, says Ollie Wilson there. And the jabber, Pat Cummins, at this stage, they are just showing him on the screen. Of course, missing out on this test match. Australia, I think, have a huge advantage in this test match, having the 2 spinners and Nathan Lyon and also Marnus Labuschagne, because we have seen already that it looks like Joe Root, even though he is a part-time spinner for England, he's getting a lot of spin on this surface, which could mean that Nathan Lyon, he will be licking his lips in the later stages of the next one as well. Hello, Kiwi lads, live stream day as well. Says Brandon, it is indeed, and hello, bro, as well. Says Crick Forecast, welcome into the live stream, mate. Hope you are doing well and hope you are excited for another day of the Ashes. Will we see a breakthrough for England in this first session, or will Australia keep on doing what they've been doing yesterday? Keep on batting and keep on getting that total towards that kind of 400 mark before maybe declaring tonight. They might have a little bit of a bowl at England under the lights, but it's supposed to be 35 to 40 degrees here for the Adelaide Oval, so it's not going to be pleasant for the English fielders, that is for sure. We already saw yesterday Ben Stokes, he looked exhausted. Stuart Broad, when he took that catch of Warner, he fell over afterwards. He was rocked on his feet almost, and also no to me 4-0 as well, says Brandon there in the chat as well. And also we've got there, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe, folks. Wishing you all a chill session of cricket, and also today alone as well, says Cricket Forecast. I am at the moment, I believe George, more than likely, he said that he will let me know in the chat whether or not he is going to be available later on in the day, because he may be a little bit busy, but that is all right. For that one, we will just have to postpone the George Learns Cricket for another day, but they're showing there how hard it was. Ben Stokes, he was just pouring into the crease every single time, bowling those short deliveries to Marnus Labuschagne, and also it was the wicket of Warner in the end. That was a short ball from him as well, so he was working extremely hard to try and pick that wicket up, and if they continue to do that in this session, they're going to need to find a second wind here, England, to be able to get it, but they're showing there that catch. Once again, every time you see it, you wonder how it was put down from Josh Butler, but unfortunately it was late in the day. He just took his eyes off it a little bit, and that's all it takes. Because now you can see there the English side, they will feel a little bit disheartened after that first day, but this now is a new day of cricket. It's going to be hot. It's going to be overcast for the opening stage of this matchup by the looks of it for the day. So that is going to be good news for England, although there is a little bit of sun around as well, but maybe that ball swings with the new ball. We saw quite a bit of it late in the day for Jimmy Anderson with that in-swinger that he only bowls about 17% of the time, but when he bowls it, it's dangerous and can pick himself up wickets. Live stream start at 7 p.m. as well, says Brandon there. But Labuschagne moving out to the crease. He is sitting on 95 off 275 balls. Steve Smith also at the crease with him, sitting on 18 runs off 71. Do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, first 5 overs of the day. Are we going to see a wicket, ladies and gentlemen? Are we going to get to see Marnus Labuschagne go out? Will it be Steve Smith, or will it be neither of these men? At the moment, Marnus just warming himself up, getting ready to go for this matchup as well. It is going to be exciting. It is going to be very intense between these sides early on, which is why, of course, we've got our hydration. Because the voice might end up trying to disappear before the end of this one, but we have still got plenty of cricketing action this week. We have got the KFC Big Bash. We don't have Leinster versus Montpellier, though. Anyone who has seen the news about that game, 28-0 win to Montpellier due to Leinster actually kind of... Unfortunately, I think it was a default in the end. And also we have got there, Emmy Stoney. I do indeed, mate. Very good, talented batsman, that is for sure. And Overcast calls for an early wicket, wouldn't you say, as well? And Smith will get out in 3 overs as well, says Greg there for the prediction. So it could be the case here, maybe for Steve Smith. Where would you bowl the ball to him? I know that that's been a question for many years at the moment, but where do you put the ball to Steve Smith to pick up the wicket? Do you go down the leg side, see if he tries to feather it down to the keeper? Do you go maybe the short ball, see if he ends up playing the pull shot? We have got Monkey Man on the chat. Said hello as well. Welcome into the live stream. And also, I got to get ready for my live stream 4 in a row as well, says Brandon there. So we will see you later on, mate. And hopefully they all go well for you. But Steve Smith, he will be on strike. And it looks like it is going to be Jimmy Anderson, the man who has returned for this matchup. He wasn't actually there for the last match for England, and neither was Stuart Broad. So both of those men, I should say, getting brought in for this one as well. But Jimmy Anderson, 18 overs bowled so far, hasn't been able to pick up the wicket. Been pretty economical, though, only going for the 1.61, and half of the overs that he has bowled have been maidens. But he hasn't got that wicket, which I know that Jimmy Anderson, a man who has got over 500 wickets, he knows how to take them, definitely with this pink ball as well. We saw it the last time he had it in hand, but it is going to be Steve Smith on strike and Jimmy Anderson. 89 overs gone in this match so far. They were just one short of the full 90, but now we are ready to go. Adelaide Oval, day 2. Hot conditions here. What can they do with the ball in hand? The seamers, and it is going to be the leave straight away on Jimmy Anderson. We have got there. Sports Stuff said hi, and can you bowl out Steve Smith with a full toss as well? Says Sebastian, I don't think anyone's really tried an absolute ripper of a full toss, as in like top of the stumps, Just got to make sure it's not a no ball and you're good. See what happens as well. And also, we've got the Carlos in the chat who said, "Hey, Amish, how are you doing today?" I'm doing very well, and sports stuff is here as well. So I hope you guys are all doing well. Hope you are all excited for another day of Test cricket. We are the second day of the Ashes for the second Test at Adelaide Oval. Once again, it is going to be Anderson. A little bit closer to the stumps for that one, but Steve Smith gets behind it, and it's for defensive. And you can tell already that Jimmy Anderson, I mean, his body will be sore when you have not played the first Test match, and when you are sitting, I believe he's 39 years of age, and he is still going at the crease every single day of the week and just keeps on attacking the stumps as well. And that is something that he'll have to do in this day, or in this day of the Ashes, because unfortunately for England, they were just a little bit too short with their line. They did try that short ball to David Warner and also to Marnus Labuschagne, but they may have stuck with it for just a few too many overs in a row without throwing up the occasional full ball as well. With Anderson in for the third delivery of the day. Steve Smith, a little bit of a play and leave there from him as well, and it went swinging it away for Jimmy Anderson. Early swing on offer for them when they do have the new ball in hand, but that new ball will not be new for anything more than probably the next kind of 10 or 15 overs. I know that they've got Joe Root. They haven't really got that specialist spinner, though, unfortunately for them. So later on in the match, if they do need to bat again, or if they do need to bowl again, it is going to be tough for Stuart Broad and also Jimmy Anderson to really be able to push it the way that Nathan Lyon will be able to for Australia. And also Marnus Labuschagne, that leg spin, it will be going a mile when he does get a chance later on in the Test match. If they do need him, that is cut shot there from Steve Smith. Aggressive shot early on in the day, and it is going to be racing away to the boundary for him, and that is a great start to the day for Steve Smith. I believe, if I'm not wrong, he only hit one boundary yesterday, and that is already his second one. And it is his first of the day, just waited for it. It's up coming off the bottom of the bat, but very good hand-eye coordination for Steve Smith. Does hit it, and it is going to be going for the 4 runs. So Anderson, he won't be too happy with that one, given a little bit too much with Steve Smith. Says, "Thanks very much, mate. I'll be playing that every day of the week." And he does pick himself up the boundary, moving up onto 22 runs now. Sorry, that was actually his third boundary. How's Virat Kohli as well? Says it was Ayush there in the chat. Are we talking about how is he as in like for his skill level, or as in how is he at the moment? Because I mean, at this stage, Virat Kohli, of course, one of the best batsmen in the world, if not the best as well. I know that he's right up there on the rankings alongside. I mean, someone asked the question yesterday. They were like, who would you say is the best? Steve Smith, Kane Williamson, Virat Kohli, Joe Root, or also, I think there was one other as well who was the best batsman for his country, and it was a very tough one to pick. Nicely played once again by Steve. Just outside of the off stump, the maximum for today, it's going to be 37 degrees Celsius, and the current temperature is 36.1, so it's not going to be pleasant out there for the English pace attack, that is for sure. But that is the end of the first over, 90 overs down, and it is 225 for 2, and we have got Ashton in the chat as well. Welcome into the live stream, mate. Hope you are doing well. Labuschagne sitting on 95 runs. He is actually sitting on the same amount of runs as David Warner was. We need to go out, and that's the thing. Marnus Labuschagne, he could have been out in the earlier stages of, or the late stages, of the day yesterday. Unfortunately put down by Joss Butler behind the stumps, who did take an absolute screamer for Marcus Harris earlier on in the day, but unfortunately just ended up putting down that one, and it does mean that perhaps the day for England in the field gets us just a little bit, or gets them a little bit more tired. Show us the real footage as well, Succession. So pretty much there is a thing on YouTube called copyright, and it is the case of if I show any match footage or audio, they would take us off YouTube and probably sue us as well. But cricket.com.au is where you can catch all of the highlights from day 1 of the Ashes and also day 2 of the Ashes once it has finished as well. That's Stuart Broad at the moment, bowling 16 overs, 5 maidens for himself, but he has only got that 1 wicket, and it was also we have got there. Where can I find the real footage as well, says Ashton? Depending on what country you're in, do let me know, and I will let you know whereabouts you can watch it. If you're in Australia, you can actually watch this for free on 7plus, I believe it is, if that is somewhere that you are located. But Labuschagne now is going to be on strike. 95 runs off 275 deliveries. The partnership moves up onto 49 of 156. Labuschagne will be on strike to Stuart Broad for defensive for that one. Pretty stock standard start for Marnus Labuschagne, Australia as well. So yeah, I believe it's on 7plus, the app. You will be able to watch this one, or KO if you have got a KO subscription, I think is the other option for that one as well. We have got Sky Sport as well, says Shane. Yeah, here in New Zealand, it is Sky Sport 1 to be able to watch this one. And also I believe it's on, is it 9 in Australia? I believe there's quite a few options in Australia to be able to watch this one for free if you have got any of those subscriptions that I did mention, or I believe there are a couple of those ones that you just need to put in an email and then you're all good to go. But Stuart Broad now second ball. It's very wide from Stuart Broad. Probably the widest delivery we've seen on bowl so far. But it is going to be the legal delivery. 127 Ks there. They're showing their release variation for Stuart Broad. He's been changing up the angle and the point of release. But the question is whether or not it is going to wear down Marnus Labuschagne to the point of maybe getting that situation of possibly getting that early wicket. We have also, what was the other one as well, says Ashton? So you have got 7 in Australia, seven. It's also KO is another one in Australia, I believe, that does have it. And then also, I want to say it's on Channel 9 in Australia, just on like normal free-to-air TV. But I could be wrong there. I know that there are quite a few options, though, and a Sky Sport Now app in New Zealand as well says that Shane Hayes there as the other option. But Stuart Broad, 3 dots in a row now for this one. But the partnership sitting on 49. How many times in recent history have Labuschagne and also Steve Smith been able to bring up 50 and also the 100-run partnership normally is not too far around the corner when they do end up bringing up that first 50. So the question is, Labuschagne, first of all, does he get his 100? I feel like that is going to be yes. And also 7 Network and 7 Mate and Oz as well. There's a bash in there, a little bit leg side-ish for Stuart Broad, and this is going to be the first runs of the day for Labuschagne. Just gets the 1 and gets himself off the mark, moving up onto 96. He's in the nervous 90s. You're outstanding commentator, man. As Oz says, it was Ayush. Thank you very much, mate. Hugely appreciate you being here for these live streams. We're going to be back for more Ashes today, and also the BBL is just around the corner as well. That one has not been going today, but it is going to be starting up on, I believe, the first match that we are going to have is Sunday, and that's going to be the Brisbane Heat taking on the Sydney Thunder, 9:40 p.m. New Zealand time, and that is going to be a very exciting game. Get to see Chris Lynn take on possibly Alex Hales in the top order there, and then the Scorchers, Mitch Marsh, recently returning from Australia A duties to get himself the century. He will be going up against the Hobart Hurricanes. Matthew Wade in that side probably feels a little bit unlucky not to be in the test side, but Alex Carey at the moment on home soil will be looking good as well. What is the best cricket bat as well, says Ashton? I would say, that's a good question. I do think depends on the format that you are playing, and also we have got the Who's as well, says laughing there in the chat. And also, are you doing the Boxing Day test as well? I am indeed. We are going to be covering that one on the channel. Who's better, Root versus Coley versus Barber versus Williamson versus Smith as well, says laughing. So that is the tough one. It's very tough, and I would say you've probably named the best batsman for each of their individual sides. DSC as well, says Ashton there. I think I've got a Grain Nichols max, but that's normally more of the kind of T20 format we do get to see in Australia a lot more often, or a ton. We don't actually get too many of those in New Zealand, I don't believe. I think more of it is the Kookaburra and the Grain Nichols overall for the branding. And hello, Hamish, Sebastian, and everybody as well. Says that David, welcome into the live stream, mate. I hope you are doing well. Hope you are excited for another day of Test cricket. That's going to be the end of Stuart Broad's over. Pretty economical in the end. Only the 2 runs off it, and it is 227 for 2 here for the Australians, and you shall be India versus South Africa match live as well, says India. I believe that game is going to be at the exact same time, roughly, as some of the match of Australia when they are taking on England. But we will try our best to be able to do a little bit of both. Predict India versus South Africa series result as well, says laughing there. It's going to be tough. How many matches do they get to play in that test match? Do let me know. Or how many tests do they play? Sorry, and also I use Tana and New Balance as well. 2 very good bats. And welcome in, David. Welcome in, everyone. Kick back and happy cricket as well, says Sebastian there. It's going to be Jimmy Anderson once again steaming in. A little bit too pitched up, and it's hit straight to the man who is out there. It is Ben Stokes, and he has had a very tough day of cricket, that is for sure. He looked like he was very sore in the first session as well after yesterday, and then he had to go on, keep on bowling, keep on powering through it. And also Marnus Labuschagne just kept on going straight down the ground with that shot, and also 3 matches as well. I think India will be able to take it 2-1 for that one as well, and 3 Tests and 3 ODIs in India versus South Africa as well. New Zealand go to Aussie soon as well, says Shane Hayes. I know that we got the T20 coming up at Sky Stadium, the doubleheader. That's going to be the pull shot from Steve Smith. So once again, looking like an aggressive shot from a very talented batsman, the captain as well of Australia, I should mention, for this matchup, which is great to see that he has got that opportunity. Of course, it does come at the expense of Pat Cummins, because he is going to be isolating in his hotel room for the next 7 days so that he can be back out there for the Boxing Day test. But Steve Smith looking confident early on with that pull shot. Doesn't look troubled at all. And now Labuschagne moves back on strike, sitting only the 4 runs away from the 100. Warner, he was out on 95. Labuschagne could have been out on 95, but now 4 runs is the difference between him and 100 runs for himself once again here. Marnus Labuschagne brought up so many of them in the past couple of years as well. Labuschagne is a good player as well. Says Oyoshi is indeed just one of those up-and-coming talents in Australian cricket. And that's the thing. If it wasn't for the Ashes a couple of years ago, maybe we wouldn't have seen as much of it. Marnus Labuschagne, as we have seen now, a little bit of an edge there. Bit of extra bounce available for Jimmy Anderson, and also Waikiwi do well in the ICC tournaments as well. Says it laughing Buddha there in the chat. I guess that's a good question overall for why we do end up going decent. I think it is just something in terms of that mentality of just really trying to, I guess it's an interesting one though, because some competitions we go very well and other competitions we don't do so well. And I guess you could say it is absolutely pouring down here at the moment. Hopefully we don't get any rain though for the Adelaide Oval. It's supposed to be about 37 today, so the only thing we get in is a heat shower for this matchup at Adelaide. And also New Zealand games are also live on Spark Sport. Have played in New Zealand as well. Says Shane Hayes, are they also on Sky at the same time, Shane, or is it just on Spark Sport that we will be able to catch those ones? Luckily for myself, I have got both subscriptions. And also Waioki, we do well in rugby tournament, a World Rugby tournament as well, says Sebastian there. And the chat is a good question as well, although All Blacks, of course, very good. I did see, actually, speaking of rugby, I did see that England have announced their fixtures. They play South Africa and New Zealand next year, which is going to be absolutely awesome to see now. It is going to be Anderson once again outside of the off stump, and it is left by Marnus once again tomorrow. My brothers as well. And there says Ayush there. So hopefully he does end up having a decent day. What is a Mirage, though? Do let me know in that regard. But at this stage, 228 runs for Australia. Like I mentioned, not scoring at the quickest rate for the first day, but still able to get themselves only 2 wickets down. They have still got very talented batsmen in the sheds. Travis Head, he brought up 150 the last time that he did play for the first innings up against England. Then also Cameron Green, he got a golden duck, so you will want to forget that one. Alex Carey, Michael Nessa, Mitchell Stark, Nathan Lyon, Jai Richardson. And if Australia can have their way here, they will not want to have Jai Richardson or Michael Nessa, who are both going to be bowling later on. They won't want either of them having to go to the crease. So that is going to be the end of the Anderson over. It is a maiden. Oh, no, sorry, there was just the one run off it. And 228 for 2 as well. Morning Amish as well, says Aidan. Welcome into the live stream, mate. Just Spark Sport. They've been showing the Super Smash on TV1 or live on Duke as well, says Shane Hay. So hopefully they do end up showing some of those games for free on either TV1 or Duke as well for those ones for New Zealand, because I know that we've got a few matches. First of all, we've got Bangladesh in the Test Series. That is going to be going decently. And then also the other one that we have got South Africa in the Test Series, and then a couple T20s or 3 T20s up against Australia, followed by, I believe we've got the Netherlands, which will be an interesting series. See how it does go. How you doing as well? Says I'm doing very well, mate. Hope you are doing well as well. And now Stuart Broad charging into the crease. He's hoping to pick up that early wicket like he did yesterday for day one, where he was able to get Marcus Harris out relatively early as well. And at the moment, Steve Smith, Marnus Labuschagne, they would have gone to the crease with the goal. First of all, probably Labuschagne's century will be on their minds a little bit, but then also their goal will just be bat time, get us through to the final session of the day, and then that is when we will decide whether or not we want to go in. Who won the T20 game between West Indies and Pakistan? It was actually Pakistan in the end. West Indies set a total of about 208, but just not enough to be able to stop the Pakistan batsmen. I believe Rizwan had a good day at the crease as well, getting himself about 80 runs before going out. Another leaf from Steve Smith goes straight into the hands of Josh Butler as well. Welcome in, Shane and Aiden as well. Hope you're well, lads. Says Sebastian there in the chat as well. But do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, in that poll that I have got in the chat, how many wickets are we going to get to see in the first session? We have got so far 3+ has got 26% of the votes. Also 2 is the most common number at the moment. That is sitting on 35, although it is continuing to change there. 27% of you have said that there won't be a single wicket falling in this first session as well for England. And what's up, Sebastian, as well, says Aiden there. And the chat, but Josh Butler at the moment, he will have to make sure that he has got his catching gloves on. Well, this one, that one's gone straight through to his hands as well. But Stuart Broad at the moment, he seems like he's got quite a smile on his face. I'm not sure whether or not that is because the body is feeling a little bit more sore than it normally does, or whether it is just that maybe he thinks that he's got a bit of a game plan here to Steve Smith. And also Aiden has said, I did say Smith and Marnus would make 100 as well there. And yeah, at the moment, Marnus, he is sitting on 96, so getting extremely close for himself. And then Steve Smith, he is taking his time, but he can just keep on going. Couldn't believe it. To set a target of 200 and still get caught. It wasn't even a close one. They caught it with 7 balls left. That's a beautiful shot from Steve Smith. Cover drive. And that is going to be a second boundary of the day. He's looking like when it is a bad ball, he's going to be putting it away, putting the pressure right back on the the English bowlers there. On 30th of January, we play Australia in Perth, Bangladesh on the 1st of January as well, says Shane Hayes there, because I know that there's back-to-back games at Sky Stadium, isn't there, that are coming up, and Marnus is the new AB de Villiers as well, and she and Afridi was rested yesterday as well, says Sebastian, so that's scary, the fact that they were still able. I guess that's probably why West Indies got so many runs. I'm wondering whether or not anyone in the IPL, I know that he was signed for one of the teams, wasn't he? I wonder if anyone in the Big Bash is eyeing up she and Afridi. I know that we've got Harris Ralph in that KFC Big Bash for the Melbourne Stars in Australia, but he would certainly be a good signing to have. Afridi once again, Stuart Broad will be charging it. It's the Yorker almost, but just ends up hitting it straight down the ground for Steve Smith. That's the thing. He bats like he's got all the time in the world there. Stuart Broad still getting it down there at about 130 Ks or so he's trying to build up to, but Steve Smith, just a classy batsman, bats also very deep in his crease sometimes. Gives himself plenty of time to go forward to that ball when it is the one that he does want, because the partnership now, it's moved up to 56 runs of 173 balls. Isn't Women's Cricket World Cup on next to New Zealand as well, says Shane Hayes. I believe we've got also a series up against India for the White Ferns down the leg side. Taken nicely by Butler. And it looks like Steve Smith straight away wants some more gloves, does he? He's got about 50 pairs of them, Steve Smith, but he does go through them, that is for sure. But now it is going to be the end of the 93rd over, and it is 232 for 2. Here for the Aussies. So they will be just trying to push their way towards that 400 or so before declaring, before we get to maybe that last session of the day where they will have a bit of a bowl perhaps at the English side, see whether or not they can pick up the early wicket of maybe Rory Burns. Could even be, like, that's the thing, if they get 2 or 3 wickets extremely early on, like at the moment the percentages, it has Australia 66% chance of being able to win this game. England only have a 7% chance, and the draw is 27. The forecast for the Adelaide Oval, though, for the next few days, it's supposed to be very hot, of course, but I don't believe we're supposed to see any rain for the next few days, which is great to see. But at the moment, it seems like Australia are going to be possibly batting out maybe even the first 2 days, and then send in England and see whether or not they can bowl them out twice, maybe even before we get into the end of day 4. That one's popped there. And that one well and truly knocked the bat out of the hands of Marnus Labuschagne. That one caught him off guard. I think Jimmy Anderson got a little bit of extra pop on that one. We have got England need to get Marnus before he gets his eye on this afternoon as well. What happens with this ball? Just ends up popping up, hits the glove of Marnus, and he does end up putting the bat down as well. Right. This is going to be interesting. Is this the first time we've seen a variable bounce? It ended up well and truly popping up. It looked like it hit something on the surface, and it just came straight up. Marnus ends up getting his hand hit with the ball, and it does end up popping away from him as well. But now it is going to be Anderson once again. Does he try and go for that similar line? He does a bit, but it is just outside of the off stump. Like he is saying there on commentary at the moment, it looks like maybe variable bounce could be coming into it. We're just looking at it again. I'm not sure what it hits, but it certainly goes up. Ends up almost, I guess you could say, that probably bounced about that much higher than it should have for that ball. It ended up creating a little puff off the surface. And this could be now interesting for the later stages of this test match. It's what you don't want to see. Yeah, that one's popped big time for Marnus Labuschagne. That one's caught him off guard, and Australia should still declare today. They risk too much. A draw if they don't as well. Exactly right. It looks like it's a good batting service. That's going to be the edge from Marnus Labuschagne, and that is going to be racing away to the boundary. So that will be his 100 now for Marnus. The crowd erupt for him, and he has been able to get yet again another century for Marnus, and that is going to be 287 that he has been able to get. 6 Test 100 in only 20 matches. His first up against England, and it is going to be a very good start. Steve Smith giving a round of applause at the non-strikers end as well. Doesn't the pink ball swing a lot more as well, says Shane? It can cause a bit more swing in the later stages, definitely under lights, although it does also mean that maybe in those later stages it is a little bit harder to pick up, which does make it very tough as well. Congratulations, Marnus. Marnus, excellent batsman as well, says Sebastian there. I'd say England will bat as well today as well, says Sebastian. Yeah, I think they will give them, I want to say, at least 15 overs at the end of the day, or maybe minimum 10. You want to get a little bit of time with that new ball and see whether or not you can create something from either end. Maybe you go 5 overs with a couple of these young guys that you have just brought in. You give Stark a go, of course, and then maybe you go with Michael Ness or Jai Richardson. All that one's hit him in the leg there from Marnus. Came back in as well with the in-swinger from Jimmy Anderson. Just doesn't quite get that line right, unfortunately, for them. That's the thing. They've got to pitch it up just a little bit more here, England. They have been going just a tad too short, and everything. I believe they showed a little pitch map earlier on yesterday, and it did say something like 7 of the balls that they had bowled were hitting the stumps. 57 of them were not. And I feel like if I almost called them India there, but if England can get that ball up there just a little bit more, perhaps it creates that indecision. Marnus batting outside of his crease at the moment. Once again blocked, and it is going to be just the dot ball. Once again, England will have to bat well to save the test as well, says Shane. Yeah, they certainly will have to. The one thing that they have got slightly in their favour is the fact that Australia haven't been scoring at a massive run rate so far in their first 94 overs. They've been going well, but they haven't quite been able to tick it over the way that maybe we kind of expected on this pitch, because it looks like a very good batting server. Damn, England are playing horrible cricket as well, says Aiden. Unfortunately for them, their best chance to get out Marnus was when he was dropped on 20, and then their second best chance was when he was dropped on 95. Now he might be able to go on and get himself to 150, whipped away to the leg side out mid-wicket way, and this is going to be at least 2 runs here for Marnus. It will be kept at just the 2. Wokes able to chase it down. He will have to have a big role in that bowling lineup of England there. That's the end of the 94th over, though. 238 for 2 and 102 runs here for Marnus Labuschagne. He is very excited for that one. You can see he is absolutely ecstatic for being able to get that one, Marnus. He has been working hard at the crease. He's been very patient with it as well, only going at a strike rate of 35.17, but been sticking out there. He has been able to put the English bowlers under a lot of pressure, and also has been able to tire them out big time. And now he does celebrate it big time, Marnus. And his job is not done yet, though. He will want to continue this partnership with Steve Smith, want to leave those guys such as a Cameron Green for the bowling side of it rather than the batting. So maybe that's the thing. If they can somehow get away with only losing 3 wickets by the time that they finish and they do declare, they'd consider that as a win for the Australians. But now it is going to be Steve Smith once again on strike to Stuart Broad, already hitting 2 boundaries today. Steve Smith, 27 runs off 86 deliveries, and the partnership moves up onto 62 of 180. That has been actually escalating pretty quickly for the second day. And also watch Marnus make 150 now as well, says Aiden there. And so Australia had 1 change and England 2 as well, says Shane. Well, Australia, I think, had 2 changes because they did have that very late change of Pat Cummins. He was unfortunately out. He was a close contact to a COVID case. So because of that, it does mean that they've got Jai Richardson in and also Michael Nisa as the other man. England, they did switch out Mark Wood and Jack Leach, and that was for Stuart Broad and Jimmy Anderson. There are 2 changes as well. And also, hello, Amish. Thanks, Asher Stream, says Kevin. Welcome in. And my friend Teddy B says hi as well. Welcome into the live stream, Teddy. Hope you are doing well. And at the moment, it is going to be England who are still in the bowling kind of situation that they do not want to be in. It is hot out there at the moment, 36 degrees. Steve Smith at the moment looking like he's not too happy with his bat. Yeah, just blocking that one, but they are just showing there Robinson. He will be warming up for this one. Ollie Robinson needs to find that breakthrough wicket, and also seems looking like a long day at the office for England as well. Declare at the end of the session, lads. Give us a bloody chance, as well, says Sebastian there. And there, I wonder if you ask them nicely whether or not they would consider it, although with it being 36 degrees, they will probably be like, nah, we're all right. We'll just keep on batting for another 2 sessions here or so and see how we can tire out well. And truly, that's going to be hitting the pad of Steve Smith. Once again, dropped by Josh Butler. That's not ideal, but he didn't get the edge for that one. But at the moment, like they're saying, the amount of heat out there, perhaps the surface will harden up in the later stages of the day as well. Now that I think about it, which does mean Joe Root, it's going to be tough for him as well as the only spinner in the attack, unless they go Dava Milan, but they haven't even looked like giving him a bowl. And at this test match, perhaps they have they asked the question, or maybe not, whether or not he does what do you see? Steve Smith hasn't come back yet. He is the captain of the Australian cricket team, which is says Aiden, perhaps could be the case. He is at the crease at the moment, so is unable to join us on the live stream. That's going to be just a little bit too much pop on the surface as well. It really needs to be pitched up there, probably only about 3 meters out from the stumps to still hit the stumps here. England only have 1 review left, although after the 80 or the 90 that you get another review back? I think that is the case, isn't it? They are just showing there for David Warner how it was Ben Stokes at the first test at the Gabba, but it was the no ball, unfortunately. So they will have to make sure that their foot is behind the line here for this matchup, England. And also, we want to beat you 2-0 going into the Boxing Day test as well, says Robert there in the chat as well. And there is a good possibility that could be the case here if they cannot get these wickets. I will allow Shane and also Steve Smith sitting 62 runs for their partnership of 185 deliveries. Basically, Australia bat England out of the test as well, says Kevin. Yeah, if they bring up 400 plus here, they are going to be in the box seat well and truly. But it's whether or not Australia want to bowl twice in a row here to England, or whether they do decide to have a little bit of a bat in between and try and really just take the wind out of the sails of England, and they will make it a draw as well, says Aidan there. At the moment, the draw is actually sitting 25%, so it's relatively high for this test match, with Stuart Broad now 5 dots in a row here. Final delivery a little bit down leg side, and that is going to be the end of the over. It is a maiden. Australia get 600 plus test over as well. Says Shane A there, and also we have got the other chat. I know you do, Robert. Welcome in, by the way. Happy cricket, my guy, as well. Says Sebastian there in the chat. But yeah, I hope you guys are all doing well. Hope you all got a good night's sleep as well after the first day of the Ashes. Of course, when you do end up talking about cricket for so long, you start thinking in your head, how do you get certain batsmen out? Steve Smith couldn't work it out. Marnus Labuschagne couldn't work it out. So good luck to England here, because I can work out how you are going to get those men out, other than taking the catches when that ball does go in the air. I mean, I would probably once again go for some of the short stuff from Ben Stokes if he has got enough energy for it, and then maybe have a guy. I think something that they were missing yesterday, England, was a guy at backward square leg for that field. They did have the bat pad, they did have the man out on the boundary, and also at fine leg, but do you have that guy, I guess, kind of a little bit further back, just in that spot? And it is going to be Ollie Robinson who is going to be going in, but overs, he has already had 7 maidens from his 16. He has been bowling. It's a nice pitched up delivery. Did he get the wicket? Yes, he does. Labuschagne gone. And that's how you get Marnus Labuschagne out. Man, I spent a lot of time thinking about that. I didn't do very well, but he has just done well there. Ollie Robinson, first delivery of the day for him, and he has been able to pick up the wicket of Marnus Labuschagne. I'd say well back these 2 sessions, and declare for the third and bowl as well, says Robert there. But it was just the outside edge from Marnus. He ended up going through. Nice edge there. And it was taken by Joss Buttler. That will be a very good feeling for that man at the start. Oh, please tell me it's not a no ball. It's a no ball. It's a no ball. What are they doing? Oh, no. Although saying if it's not quite clear, surely that's not going to be a no ball. No ball OMG as well. And also we have got their well-deserved England as well. Says Kevin out, says Robert there as well. They're checking this one from all angles. They're saying if it's not conclusive, though, it could go the way of the bowler. And also we have got their opus off, says Sebastian there in the chat as well. They're checking this one. I don't think there's anything behind the line. Marnus is going to get to stay out there. They're their own worst enemy here, England, at the moment. We were talking about the fact that they cannot have it as a no ball. That's the no ball, and Labuschagne is still at the crease. That is his third life. He is laughing, Marnus. He's going, why don't these guys just get me out? Marnus Labuschagne, he is still going to be at the crease. What a moment in this game. Joe Root, he is absolutely livid for that one. What are you going to do to pick up Marnus Labuschagne? That is 2 drop catches, and also now the no ball. Ollie Robinson getting that one wrong. Just bowl it from back there, mate. Just make sure you're behind the line. Look at that. No ball there for Robinson, and Marnus Labuschagne still at the crease, ladies and gentlemen. And like they were saying, he was laughing when he was making his way back out there. Joe Root saw it. Ollie Robinson saw it. And he knew straight away that it was just that little bit of a mistake. He would have been open maybe just that little bit further back, but doesn't work out for him as well. And now Marnus Labuschagne still at the crease. It is a no ball as well. It's a little bit more insult to injury, the fact that they do get a run for that ball as well there. But 95.1 overs down now. Marnus Labuschagne, he's just laughing, because what else can you do as the batsman? Steve Smith shouldn't be playing after using sandpaper as well. Says that Shane Hayes there. But Joe Root, you can see that aggression in the face of the English captain. Can't believe it. Their luck at the moment at Adelaide Oval, it is not going their way at all. They needed the early wicket. They got it, but it's a no ball, so it's not the wicket. And now still 2 down here for them as well. Ollie Robinson now bowling once again. It's close to the off stump, and I feel like the only way that there is redemption for him is if he gets Marnus out and the next kind of little while as well. But 239 for 2 here for the stages as well. But they are just showing there the no ball. Yeah, it's just a little bit too far over the line there. And Robinson, they're saying the benefit of the doubt normally goes to the bowler with the new ICC regulations, but that is not anything behind the line there for Ollie Robinson. Cutting halfway down is the call there. So now it is going to be Marnus Labuschagne once again on strike, whip to the leg side, but it is just going to be the dot ball once again. Here we have Stetzer in the chat once again, trying to rile up the English fans just a little bit there. And that is definitely hitting them while they're down in that situation with Ollie Robinson. That was a big sigh from him as well. That must be the worst feeling in the world for the bowler. Unfortunately, no ball. Not allowed. Tough luck as well, says Kevin there, yeah. And Josh Butler, the thing is, he was able to take that catch, so that would have felt good for him for about a whole 5 seconds until they looked and saw that it was going to be the no ball. Auckland are back in the Super Smash as well. Says Shane Ace there. Nicely bowled once again by Ollie Robinson, but it is going to be the dot ball. And Marnus Labuschagne now 295 balls. That man is almost like a cat. He's got 9 lives. He's used up 3 of them at the moment. I feel like he's still got a few more up his sleeve as well. We've seen 2 drop catches from Josh Butler. We've seen a no ball. And also, to be fair, there was one down the leg side that he almost got caught as well by Ben Stokes off Joe Root's bowling, I believe it was. So really, he's used up about 4 of his lives, but we know cats have 9 lives. And Marnus Labuschagne seems to have 9 at the Adelaide Oval as well. That was almost how you say oval, but it didn't quite work out. There's going to be whipped to the leg side, and that is going to be just the single there for Marnus. And now 1 delivery left for Steve Smith on strike. At the moment, Marnus Labuschagne, he was probably, that's the thing, he's been ready to take his way back into the changing rooms. Just go back there, have a drink, have a little bit of a chill-out session before going out there to have a bit of a bowl, but it hasn't happened 3 times. 3 times. He has still kept himself at the crease. And none of them have really been his fault, really. The no ball and also the 2 drop catches as well, like I mentioned, with Robinson now. Bowling his final delivery. Steve Smith leaves, and then it's going to be the end of the 96th over. 240 for 2 here. And England are once again going to have just that little bit longer in the field now to be able to run around. But 64 runs at the moment is the partnership that these 2 men have had for Marnus Labuschagne and also for Steve Smith. Here they are showing there, Marnus Labuschagne. 8 fours in total for his 100. So he's had to work hard to get the runs that he has, but he has been playing the pull shot very nicely for himself. And also a beautiful cut shot from him as well. He's been playing all around the ground here for Marnus, but the 2 boundaries are a lot shorter, 60 metres, 62 metres as well. So that is why he has been targeting those 2 ones, and he was fired up when he got his 100. It was almost an end to his century. But he's still there, and he is still going. He's almost faced 300 deliveries there, Marnus Labuschagne. The endurance from that man is certainly impressive. The fact that he is just going to keep on batting it out for the rest of the day if he gets the opportunity, I believe. Is it Chris Wokes that they have gone with, or is that still headband man himself, Stuart Broad? I believe it is Stuart Broad, who has still got that ball in hand, tough luck as well. More like Robinson can't bowl. What goes through the selectors here, they choose players that can't even bowl as well. Says it was over Spencer there, and also we have got there Wimble. The Aces have their first game as well, says Sebastian, and also we have got there the big moments seem to go Australia way. Everything go against England as well, says Kevin. Yeah, at the moment, it's been tough for them. And at this one, but Stuart Broady is still going to be bowling. He's picked up 1 wicket so far today. It was the left-hander of Marcus Harris. They've actually gone with a little bit of an aggressive field here. We can see from England, they've got a short mid-wicket. They've also got a man, kind of at square leg, but he is actually pushed up a little bit inside of the ring, and also a couple of men relatively close there down the ground as well. They're trying to find this wicket of Marnus Labuschagne, and they've got a leg slip as well, or a leg gully, I do see. So it looks like they are trying to pick him up with the short ball bats from Stuart Broad. He doesn't bowl it too often, but when he does, it can be pretty, I guess you could say, inconclusive in terms of the fact that the batsmen are finding it very hard to read it. But Marnus Labuschagne, they're just showing his reaction. He was walking off the field. He was raising his bat to the crowds. And then they looked at the replay, and then he had to turn around and go back out to the middle as well. Both Auckland men and women played tonight as well. Says Jane Hayes, yeah, the Super Smash well and truly in full effect at the moment. I wish I was able to watch a few more of those games. Stuart Broad pitched up delivery and Marnus once again with the 4 defensive fielded by Burns. And he will have a big old chance to really get a good partnership going for the opening partnership of England when they do get a chance to bat. They will probably be batting later on today with Australia already sitting at 240 for 2 here. At the moment, Robinson, you can see there, he looks at the no ball. He doesn't really show too much emotion other than the fact that straight away he knew that he had messed it up as well. And that must be the terrible feeling for you, finally being able to get that breakthrough wicket. And then once again, just missing out on it. Stuart Broad there pitching it up nicely, whipped to the leg side for Marnus. And it is going to be fielded by Robinson. And unbelievable, that's shocking as well. And do you go for the Kings or the Volts, Hamish, as well? Says Sebastian, I don't actually really have a favourite Super Smash team because I don't actually know who's in all of the sides at the moment, to be honest. I know that there is a fella for Otago Vault that I did actually play cricket up against a while ago, and I did end up getting him out, but that was when he was on about 130 or something like that. As and there it is from Joe Root, the emotion on the face, the frustration for being able to get so close yet so far away from them. Bouncer there from Marnus. It's almost gone straight through the hands of Ollie Robinson there. It was another half chance, and Robinson, he knows that could have been his chance again in Australia going to declare. No way England get them all out as well. Says it was Kevin. Yeah, I feel like at this stage, the way that it has been going early on, it is going to be England who will have to probably wait until Australia decide they're finished batting. Oh, I went through the fingers of Robinson. Almost able to take it as well. Are you a fast medium or spin bowler? Hamish as well says, I know I used to do a little bit of both, but I'm probably more of an off spinner than a fast medium. Like I used to be able to bowl, I think it was a leg cutter when I do like a medium pace delivery, and no one could ever pick it because of the fact that it did look like I was going to be bowling just medium pace, but then I'd always give it a little flick with the finger, get a bit of leg spin on it. But I can bowl a bit of leg spin as well when I do need to. But Steve Smith at the moment, he is going to be sitting on 27 runs of 94 deliveries, 65-run partnership with him and Marnus. And also we have got there, I go for the vaults as well, says Shane there, but they are just showing this pull shot from Marnus Labuschagne, almost picking out Robinson. One-hander catch, almost fingertips away. It was a good effort from Robinson to be able to get their fingers to that one, though, from the angle that it was, because Labuschagne did not hit that one lightly. He moves up to 300 balls faced, 103 runs with a strike rate here at the moment of 34.33. At 96.5 overs down. This is going to feel like a long day for England, that is for sure. After putting in a tough effort yesterday to only pick up the 2 wickets, that's going to be the end of the over. The 20th one for Stuart Broad. He's been going at 2 runs and over so far, and also picked up that early wicket of Marcus Harris. A little bit of a sneeze there, but they are just showing there that it looks like Robinson, he is pitching the ball up just a little bit more than they had been yesterday, perhaps. And him and also Wokes, who do like to pitch that ball up, perhaps gets a little bit more of a chance here. Definitely if we do get to see a little bit of that variable bounce that we saw for that one earlier on. But you can see them all celebrating. Ben Stokes going over. Oh, the happiness on Ben Stokes' face when they were able to get that wicket, to have it all sucked out of them as soon as they see that it was the no ball. But Robinson once again now going to be bowling just outside of the off stump, and it is left once again from Marnus Labuschagne, who I feel like at this stage could bat 400 balls plus into this test match. The way that man has been going with the luck that he has had as well, he will be there all day if he does get the opportunity to. It looks like at the moment, Marnus Labuschagne batting on off stump, they are talking about, so it does mean that he knows where his off stump is going to be, which is why he's very good at leaving the ball. Marnus, he doesn't normally play it too many that he doesn't have to. That ball, even though it was a full pitch delivery, still bounced about half a metre over the stumps there. Robertson once again pitches it up nicely, and it is going to be left by Marnus once again there. Got a bit of a smile on his face, Marnus. He'll be happy to still be at the crease. He loves batting, that man. He has got over 2,000 runs in only the 20 matches of test match cricket that he has played as well, which is extremely impressive. Him and Steve Smith at the crease together have almost brought up 10,000 runs, I believe. And they must be getting closer and closer to being able to bring up that. But the last 50 balls, 20 runs here for Australia. So they're going at a decent rate here by the looks of it. They have got square leg, short mid wicket, mid on, mid off, extra cover, backward point. And also they have taken out that leg slip for when Robinson is bowling as well throughout. England learned from their mistakes as well from the first test, and they haven't same errors continue for the second test match as well, says Kevin there in the chat. But yeah, the no ball, it is so rough for the bowlers to be able to just go in there. And that's the thing, like Robinson, that was his 17th over, or his 16th over, sorry, the first over of the day that he had bowled as well, the very first delivery. So Labuschagne, he wasn't used to facing him for today, but he's way out of his crease. He's probably batting about 6 inches outside of his crease at the moment, Marnus. So feeling that confidence to play the ball nice and early, and also it does limit the chances of an LBW as well for him if he is so far down there. But at the moment, facing 304 deliveries, quickest to 2,000 runs in the fewest test innings. It is actually Marnus Labuschagne with 20 matches it did take him in 34 innings to bring up 2,000 runs. The names above him, Don Bradman, Heatley, also Sutcliffe, and also Mr. Cricket himself, Hussey, is up in there as well. Off the 33 innings to bring up 2,000. Perhaps he's going to try and race a couple of those guys to 3,000 because he has still got plenty of time left. And it's Test Korea. That's going to be close to an LBW. That one is given out. Has Robinson got him this time? Does Marnus review it? They've still got 3 reviews. They might as well here for Marnus Labuschagne. I'm going to say that maybe it could be bouncing over straight away because of the extra bounce that we have seen. Does Marnus go upstairs? He's having a chat with Steve Smith. What do they decide? I'm going like this. They have reviewed it, and I'm back as well. And when are England due for the new ball? They did take it about 17 overs ago. So it does mean the next time that they do get a new ball will be 116 or 160 overs, though. Sorry. Now, at the moment, Robinson, just the way that the pitch has bounced so far, I'm worried that this one's going to be going over the stumps. It did end up cutting nicely in for Robinson. It does end up, this is going to be close. Like they're saying, it has to be out here. Going to be hitting him just above the knee roll. Is it going to be in line with the stumps? I believe it is. It's going to be umpire's call for the impact in line. They are just checking this one. It's going back in there. It's going to be bouncing. It has hit the stumps, and that is going to be Marnus Labuschagne now out for that one. Hopefully it's out for England as well. And also we have got the Dirty Cheese got their way this time as well. There's Average Speeds, and also we've got the arm back as well, says Brandon there. So that is Marnus Labuschagne. He was able to get himself a couple extra runs in the end. 103. Now he has to have the elation from the crowd, but that's the thing. He will be disappointed more with that one probably. Finally, a wicket. Let's go as well. Marnus out this time for real as well. And 2 live streams already as well. Says up Brandon there in the chat, but we are going to be updating that. We are going to say the next to bat, it is going to be Travis Head making his way to the crease now. So now they have got Cameron Green, and we will go like this, and we will go like this. But great innings from Marnus Labuschagne there. Last name hard to spell. I will admit that. I've got to look down and make sure that I do get all the letters in the right place. There we go, Marnus Labuschagne. He was LBW by Robinson, 103 runs off a total of 305 deliveries. It was a good innings from Marnus, a great innings, in fact, and it has really put Australia in the box seat to be able to maybe go out here and have Travis Head do what he did last time. Are you going to be watching it as well, says Brandon? We have got the Ashes all day, so unfortunately I probably don't get too much time to be able to watch anything but the cricket. We have got Amelia in the chat, has said hi as well. Welcome into the live stream. Hope you are doing well today. Get Travis out early as well, says Shane there. And yeah, that's the thing. Now Travis Head, he was able to bring up the 150 for the last one as well of the test matches. I will go like this, and we will go like this. There we go. That is the scorecard from the first innings last time. Travis Head bringing up 152 runs off only 148 deliveries. If he can do that here, or even a third of that, bring up a quick 50, it will certainly be helping out Australia. I wonder whether or not he does go a little bit more aggressive here for Travis Head. His average is 43.5, got a very good test average, best of 161. So he was getting closer and closer till he was bowled by Mark Wood there in the last one for 152. We have got there over 300 balls delivered to the guy. Unbelievable as well, says Sebastian. Yeah, that's that's a 50 over match just bowled to one guy. England are gone into the game. Travis Head has come in one England are done as well. Says it was there from Amish Spencer. So I'm assuming you're saying Travis Head is getting himself the 100, Amish. Do let me know when we get him early as well. Says and there he is praying that they will be able to pick him up nice and early, but now it is going to be Robinson. A wicket maiden could be on the cards here. Travis Head is a left-hander, so that will give Stuart Broad a little bit more confidence. And it is nicely bowled. Dot ball to close out a good over from Robinson, and it is going to be the wicket maiden. And now the score is 241 for 3 here for Australia. We have got there. Hi, Amish as well. Says, welcome into the live stream, mate. Hope you are doing well and hope you are excited for an exciting day of the Ashes as well that we have got ourselves. We've just seen the wicket of Marnus Labuschagne fall. He was 103 runs off 305 deliveries. Australia next to bat. They have still got Cameron Green, Alex Carey, Michael Nisa, who is getting the opportunity. And I meant not one, meant on, not one as well. And the chat says Hamish there as well. So I assume that is come on, England are done as well. Or Travis Head is coming on, England are done. I assume that is for that one as well. At the moment, Travis Head has faced a one delivery so far. Steve Smith, he is sitting on 27 runs off 95. So both of the last partnerships, they have been able to bring up over the 50 runs. Fella on the scoreboard at the moment. I do like the fact that the Adelaide Oval, they have stuck to one of those sort of, I guess you could say, the older style of scoreboard. And he will certainly be liking the fact that he is out of the sunshine because it is sitting 36 degrees. Want to know something that I found out yesterday as well? Says Bubs, go for it, mate. Do let me know. But Stuart Broad now, he will be open to get Steve Smith off the mark and then face off against Travis Head for a little bit. At the leg side there for Stephen Smith, and it is just going to be the dot ball once again. At the moment, with that wicket falling, it does mean England, whoa, they've got a whole 9% chance of being able to win this game. So they have gone up from a total of 9. Or actually, that doesn't matter if it hits him outside of the line, does it? Because of the fact that he didn't actually play a shot to it. So I guess that is one of those ones that I did make the mistake at the time, but it was, in the end, like they're saying, it didn't really bounce up like the tennis ball does. Normally pitching outside off, and then it was hitting the wickets. It was hitting middle stump. So that will be the length that Robinson tries to find repeatedly in the next little while, every once in a while, throwing one of those in. So our short ball there from Stuart Broad, trying to lure in Steve Smith to play the pull shot. If they can get Steve Smith in this one as well, I go for a week without noticing as well, Steve. So that is not good news for you, mate. So hopefully you have fully recovered and you are feeling a lot better. At least I was at home at the time as well. So that is good news that you were self-isolating for that situation as well. We have also got there James and Brody. I should try and get into the tail next 3 and important as well, says Kevin there. I said as well twice in a row there. But ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We have got there the poll at the moment in terms of how many wickets we think England will get in session 1. We have got 23% of you have said 1, 29% of you have said 2, and 3+ wickets. That is 26%. Brilliant shot there from Steve Smith, though, and that is going to be another 4 runs for him. He's looking good in the early stages of day 2, that is for sure. Moment just going just a little bit too short. We are currently sitting 5:47 p.m. here in New Zealand, so there's still got another hour and 15 minutes of this session. Now, the run rate, or the over rate, I guess I should say, for England yesterday, they were a little bit slow for it. As well, but at the moment, Chris Wokes just asking the question of where that ball did go there. I think he just well and truly misread it with the sun going straight into his eyes. Someone needs to give that man some glasses to be able to see that one as well. But now, once again, Stuart Broad will be charging in. It looks like England have got just that little bit of an extra spring in their step just for now. But how long will it last? That is a big question. They need to keep on getting wickets, or else that spring will slowly become just a little bit of a patter. And then a patter is not as effective as a spring, I wouldn't think, overall. It wasn't pattering down before. It was actually absolutely bucketing down for the rain here. But luckily, it looks like it is supposed to be nice weather for the Adelaide Test match all 5 days. I don't believe we've got any rain on the forecast, but Stuart Broad, who knows, maybe he'll be open for a little bit of cloud cover here, because it is currently sitting 36 degrees Celsius at the Adelaide Oval. Currently going for the 1 boundary in this over. Broad, nicely played by Steve Smith. A little bit of extra bounce there. He is saying as well to the man at the non-strikers end, Travis Head. And these two at the moment, if they can put together another big partnership, the last 2 partnerships, like I mentioned, they did both get over 65, but Marnus there making his way off the field. And he was not too happy with that one as well with the LBW. I feel like he preferred getting out caught behind. He did still have a smile on his face there when he was going off the field last time. Does end up putting up the bat again, perhaps, for Marnus. I don't think they checked the front foot for that one, but I assume that they did check it kind of before we got to see it as well for the LBW. Now it is going to be Stuart Broad. A little bit leg side-ish, well fielded almost from Hamid, but it has gone through his hands, and that means that they are going to be able to get the single there. And Steve Smith once again rotating the strike. So that will be the end of the over as well. So Travis Head, he does avoid facing Stuart Broad, who loves bringing that ball back into the left-handers. That is the end of the 99th over, though. And they are sitting 246 for 3 here for Australia. So almost 100 overs bowled by the England pace attack, and also a few bowled by Joe Root as well. We will give him an honourable mention for bowling 11, but so far they have got the 6 bowlers. Anderson's bowled 21, Stuart Broad's bowled 21, Wokes 15, Robinson 18, then Ben Stokes, he has also bowled 13 for this matchup, and then Joe Root getting through 11 overs as well. But Nathan Lyon, I wouldn't be surprised if we do get to see quite a bit of his bowling in about day 3 onwards, because it looks like it is going to be turning even Marnus Labuschagne now that he has gone out here. I feel like he will have his feet up. He will be resting, and he will be ready to go with the ball in hand. Get some leg spinners down there as well. But Robinson now creating that angle. Steve Smith just leaves it in his unorthodox way of pretty much putting the bat up and then going no, and putting it to the side so that it doesn't quite end up hitting the bat there. But Steve Smith sitting on 31 runs. He has brought up the 100 balls faced for him as well. 101 going at the strike rate of around that 30.39. So actually a little bit slower than Marnus was going at for a start. But there have been 3 wickets so far. 1 for Stuart Broad, 1 for Ben Stokes, and then also the other wicket for Robinson just recently. This will be bringing up almost 600 balls bowled by England, I should say, as well. And that's not even including the no balls and the wides that we have had so far. 200, that's not how fast he's bowling. Tell you what, if he was getting them down at 200, Steve Smith, I feel like he could still play him, couldn't he, Steve? He's got very good hand-eye coordination, that man, but 127 is where he is bowling at the moment for Robinson. So they haven't got anyone who has got out-and-out pace unlike the Australian bowling lineup who have got Mitchell Starc, and also they don't normally bowl Mark Wood twice in a row. And I feel like this would have been a perfect surface for Mark Wood to be able to just steam in there, bowl them at 150, see whether or not you can create a little bit of indecision. Definitely in the later days when the pitch is starting to speed up. Nicely played by Steve Smith, but almost getting squared up a little bit by that one of Robinson, who is currently he's almost leading in terms of the most maidens. If he does end up having a maiden here, he will be tied with Jimmy Anderson, although he has bowled less overs for him and also has been able to pick up the extra wicket. The economy between those two, though, is almost identical. 1.89 for Ollie Robinson and 1.9 for James Anderson, or Jimmy Anderson as well. And what if it's a whitewash in Australia win all Test series? I will feel distraught if I'm England as well, says Kevin. You certainly do not want to lose a series 5-0 on away soil. Because that's the thing, Australia, they were able to really take it to England. And the last Ashes series that was in England, it was actually ending in a series draw, I believe it was, if I'm not wrong there. So because of that, it does mean that maybe, that's the thing, Australia, they will be looking at nothing less than 4 Test matches, like maybe one slips, but overall they will be able to go. Alwyn needs to go. He's a fast bowler like Starc as well, says Robert. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Australia have got plenty of pace in that bowling lineup, and because of that, it could mean that they will be able to pick up few extra wickets for themselves early on and also late in the session, because we do mention about that pink ball. The fact that it is so late in the day that normally it does take place, it does mean that it's very hard to pick up the ball as early as you would during the day. So it would mean when it's coming down at 150, 145, etc., like it's very hard to pick it up in just that short amount of time that you normally have to try and work out where it is. But it's looking like a nice day. I think the cloud cover is starting to pass, and it does mean that the sun will be going straight out there, and that's going to be tough for England. They've been able to get themselves the 1 wicket, though, so far this session. Can they get another very soon? That's the question. Steve Smith once again getting squared up by Robinson, but once again able to block it. He won't mind being out there pretty much all day if he can. 100 overs bowled now by England and Australia with the economy rate of 2.4, or the run rate of 2.4. They are going to be sitting at 246 for 3 here as well. But I'm looking, it's a no ball. It's a no ball. So that was very lucky that he didn't get the wicket. And he is not getting the maiden there. It's another one from Robinson. They really need to work on this, England. If they get this wrong again, and they do end up in that situation of bowling a no ball when it is a wicket ball, Joe Root may just go off the field and quit on the spot. And hi, what's up as well, says Mr. Cookie Boy there. Welcome into the live stream, mate. I hope you are doing well. Nicely bowled there by Robinson. That is now the end of his over. And now I have to change my statement. Now they've got the economy, or the run rate, of 2.47 off the first 100 overs. But that is going to be 247 for 3 there for the Australians. So doing decently to just keep that strike rate ticking over. At the moment, we're looking at the percentage-wise, 24% chance of this match being a draw. There's an 8% chance that England win it and a 68% chance for Australia to win it. They did win the toss. They decided that they did want to bat. And one of the reasons Steve Smith did say was because of the fact that they want to try and control the game, and that is exactly what Australia are doing at the moment. Payback is sweet. Next Ashes in England, they beat Australia as well. Says Kevin, and I am doing something really good. Same to you as well, says Mr. Cookie Boy. I'm doing very well, mate. We got the second day of the Ashes. Still another 3 days theoretically after this one, if it does go the distance. But at the moment, Australia trying to bat out into a situation where they cannot lose this test match. We'll have to wait and see whether or not it will be the possibility, though. Wokes now, he is going to be bowling. First over of the day for him. He's already gone for 36 runs. He's actually probably been the most expensive English bowler almost, other than actually Ben Stokes and Joe Root, both a little bit higher. But that is because Ben Stokes bowling the short stuff, and Joe Root is the spinner, who of course will end up getting smacked around a little bit, being a part-timer for that one. They didn't go with a specialist spinner for this one. They don't have Dom Bess. They also, is his first name Dom? I think it's Dom Bess, and also it is Jack Leach that they decided to leave out of this one. He did have an economy of about 8 runs, though, in the last test match. At the moment, Chris Wokes spells. He hasn't been able to pick up any wickets as of yet in this test match. Can he get himself one here? Travis Head once again getting straight behind the ball. 150 for that man, and bringing up, I believe it was the 5th fastest century for anyone. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, everyone, and chill and enjoy the commentary as well, says Sebastian there in the chat. Exactly right. We have got plenty more Ashes coming today. We've got plenty more hydration that will be consumed as well. I'm waiting for the moment when I spill my drink. I know it's coming. And the thing is, if it does happen, you'll know it happens, because the screen will just go black. Beautiful shot from Travis Head for the cut shot there, and that is going to be the 4 runs. You just see all the Steve Smith's gloves there on the side of the kind of boundary, and there's about 15 pairs. Dom Best is the best in the team. They sent to Australia as well. Or Best is in the team they sent to Australia as well, says Robert there. So yeah, I feel like they might maybe try him in the 3rd test match if they go with him rather than Jack Leach. But beautiful shot there from Travis Head, just gliding it to the boundary out through point. I believe there was actually a Fulham FC shirt that we have got. So a couple English supporters in attendance for this one. They would have loved to see Labuschagne go on, but now they want to see another. And maybe it could be Travis Head, although maybe it could be Steve Smith as well. We will have to wait and see. He hasn't really looked like he is, I guess you could say, in that situation. He hasn't really looked like there's any weaknesses at the moment for Steve Smith, other than maybe every once in a while he gets squared up. So if he does miss that ball, which he never does, if he does miss it, he could end up with an LBW if they keep on pitching that ball up on the stumps as well. But Travis Head at the moment facing off with Chris Wokes. So Stuart Broad is yet to get a chance at another left-hander. Well bowled by Wokes. Just holding the pose there, Travis Head, at the moment. But Wokes has gone for 40 runs so far. Cameron Green and Alex Carey both still waiting in the nice air-conditioned region of the Adelaide Oval, being able to sit there. And, of course, for himself here, Cameron Green, he will want to bring up a few more runs than he did in his first innings in the last match. He did get himself a golden duck. That will be playing on his mind. So the best thing for him to have is just to be able to find that bat on ball for that first delivery. Nice ball once again by Wokes. That will be the end of his over. And now 101 overs down, 251 for 3 here for the Australians. And who doesn't enjoy a leech spin or the leech spin as well? Heaps of left arm and runs full wickets as well. Says otherwise Sebastian there. And Travis Head and Carey will fire being in front of a home ground as well. Yeah, Alex Carey. That's the thing. I really hope that the home ground side of it doesn't affect him too much, because I know that some people, when they are on their home field, it can be pretty overwhelming. And he did mention even for the national anthem kind of side of it as well, to be there in front of a crowd, where you normally play your cricket anyway, is just a completely different feeling when you are wearing the whites for the cricket as well. And for the test match, definitely for the Ashes, huge occasion, over 140 years of rivalry. I believe it is going to be Ollie Robinson once again bowling to Steve Smith, who is actually batting on his crease at the moment here. I do see for Stephen Smith. Now, at the moment, it's off the edge. Oh, it doesn't carry to Burns. Just falling short. It was almost edge, and it was almost a chance to get Steve Smith out. Like I mentioned, you try and work out after a day of cricket, how do you get Steve Smith out? And I feel like everyone asks themselves that question. We know that England were asking it last time for the Ashes. We know that everyone just asks that question any series that he is in. It was once again, he did end up getting squared up a little bit there for Steve Smith. Did that one carry? Or did it bounce into the hands of Rory Burns? I believe from the reaction, I believe it would have bounced, because we didn't really hear. Yeah, it did bounce. I was going to say we didn't really hear anything along the lines of dropped or anything. That's going to be close to the edge, but it does end up hitting the back leg of Steve Smith there. And also, do you think Joe Root plan strategy is working as well, says Kevin? It's always tough to say a strategy is working when a side of 251 for 3. It's just one of those situations that I know Joe Root, he would have been wanting a lot more wickets on the board, wouldn't they? Oh, I tell you what, everyone is wearing, tell you what, that would be very hot as well. They are wearing kind of that grey suit and also the grey wig, which will be getting pretty hot at the Adelaide Oval when you're sitting in 36 degrees. It's certainly, they've certainly gone out there and they have got plenty of cut shot there from Steve Smith. Plenty of, I guess you could say, what's it called? Not determination. They've got plenty of, can't think of the word, unfortunately. My brain has gone blank. Imagine that. Saying about 500 words a day or 500 words a minute, and you don't actually remember any. Sydney Thunder fan as well. Oh, Sydney Thunder fan has said hi as well. Welcome into the live stream, mate. Hope you are doing well. Anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Speaking of the Sydney Thunder, we are going to be covering their Big Bash fixture that is coming up on Sunday. That is going to be between the Heat and the Thunder. It should be a very exciting one. Also, the Scorchers taking on the Hobart Hurricanes. That is on the Monday. Pitched up delivery from Robinson once again. It is just going to be the dot ball. Currently looking pretty good. Robinson at the moment, they are saying about how he is getting a bit of seam both ways, which is helping him out nicely in the early stages of the day as well. But it will certainly be hot. The commitment, that is the word that I was looking for. It's finally found the tongue as well. 251 for 3 here for Australia. They have certainly been committed to just sticking it out with the batting. I feel like out of everywhere to be sitting, anywhere that has the shade at the moment at the Adelaide Oval, people will be pretty happy with that, because I feel like even though the sun is not on yet. It will still be very hot. Beautiful delivery there from Robinson, just missing the outside edge of Steve Smith's bat. Partnership at the moment sitting 10 off 25, but like they are saying, it is a good line and length there from Robinson, just pitching the ball up a little bit more than we've seen from a couple of the other bowlers. Even Chris Wokes, who does normally like to throw up that full delivery every once in a while, perhaps he needs to try and get it up there just a little bit more. See if he can try and tickle it outside of the edge of the bat of either Travis Head or also maybe Steve Smith if he can get that wicket. The yawns are coming thick and fast today. Nice block there from Steve Smith, and that is going to be the end of the over. 102 overs down, 251 for 3 here for Australia. And they are saying it's time for a drink break as well. And which BBL team do you support as well? This is it. Also, Sebastian there in the chat. And also, Australia has impressive batting lineup, to be fair, as well. So it's given they certainly do. Like the fact that they've already got 251 on the board, and Steve Smith has only got 31 of those runs. Travis Head now making his way to the crease. It's a good lineup. That is for sure. Also having Alex Carey does normally like to have a little bit of the top order in a T20. He is going to be in that situation of coming in at 7 for them as well. So it's certainly not a weak lineup for them. That is for sure. And Cameron Green, he can also bat. Didn't get many runs in that first innings, unfortunately, for himself, but he can certainly bring up quite a few as well. We'll show you guys once again what the bowling figures were looking like for England after that first session in the last test match. In the end, it was Wokes who was able to pick up 2 wickets for himself, going in an economy of 3, which is actually a little bit more than he was going at this stage, but he has still got another 9 overs until he reaches that 25. Ollie Robinson picking up 3 wickets. He has just got the 1 wicket so far, but that was the big wicket of Marnus Labuschagne. Also, Mark Wood, he is not here for this match. Jack Leach, another man who is missing. Ben Stokes already picking up a wicket today, and Joe Root has not quite been able to get him one as well. But Jimmy Anderson and also Stuart Broad both returning into the side. So it will be interesting to see whether or not we do get to see any more wickets falling in this first session. If you haven't already, be sure to vote in that poll and let us know how many runs or also how many wickets you think that there will be in the first session of the day. At the moment, it seems like 2 wickets is the most popular choice. 33% of you have said that it will be 2 wickets taken in this first session, and we are halfway through it as well, which does mean there is still plenty of opportunity. We have got hi, mate, as well, says Rugby Boy. Welcome in to the live stream, mate. I hope you are doing well. I do see that your name is updated. Raman said I am Indian as well, so I hope you are doing well. What time is it in India at the moment? It must be sitting, I guess, around lunchtime, somewhere around there. Do let me know. But Steve Smith at the moment sitting on 31 not out off 114 balls, 163 minutes at the crease, 5 fours for him. In fact, 3 of those have come from today, and 100 dot balls he has faced as well. So it does actually mean that when he is scoring quite a few runs for Steve Smith. He's actually only got 14 scoring shots and has been able to bring up 31 runs from those scoring shots. At the moment, Steve Smith, he will be relatively happy with the chance of being able to be out there at the crease. Not just at the crease, though. He is out there as the captain with Pat Cummins missing. Unfortunately for him, it does mean that he is going to be out for the next 7 days or so because he does have to self-isolate as he was a close case to a close contact to a COVID case. So because of that, it does mean that he is going to be missing for this one, which is why Michael Nessa, a man who has been 12th man many, many times for the Australians, he is finally going to get his opportunity as well. But they are just showing once again a few more highlights from Marnus Labuschagne's over, or his 100, I should say, as well. 8 fours in the end for Marnus. And there were a couple near chances for England to be able to get him out, but just never quite able to get over the line with it as well. They did actually get him out just a little bit prior to when he did lose his wicket, but Robinson with the no ball did mean that he did not get him out just yet, but then he was able to get the LBW in the end, which did end the Marnus Labuschagne 305 balls that he did face as well. So that was very impressive from Marnus, and he does put, at the moment, Australia in a perfect position, 67% chance of being able to win this test match, only 8% chance for England, and then the draw is a 25% chance for the live win probability. I finally found my new name when I searched for it as well. Go Australia, as well, says Rugby Boy there in the chat. So I guess it almost took 48 hours, did it? Rugby Boy, do let me know. Do you prefer when I call you Rugby Boy, or do you want to be called Johan? Instead, do let me know. Steve Smith at the moment, he is sitting on 31 runs Broad, 21 overs in to his bowling figures, and that's going to be Wokes round the wicket now, seeing whether or not he can get this important wicket of Smith, who is just going to be sticking himself out there at the crease for the whole day. Also, Travis Head on strike here, because he is the left-hander, so I assume If Stuart Broad hadn't already bowled like 4 or 5 overs, he would have loved to be able to have a chance at bowling to Travis here. But unfortunately, it just ended up, it happened at just the wrong time, I guess you could say. And have you ever been bungee jumping? I'm 15. I'm going to do it today. If you did it, is it scary as well? Says Rugby Boy. I haven't actually been bungee jumping. It's something that I feel like at some stage would like to experience as well. But hopefully you do enjoy it, mate. And it will be a definitely unique experience that you haven't had before as well. It's going to be Hamid there, fielding that one in the deep. 2 more runs for Travis here, who is sitting on 6 runs off 9 balls at the moment here. 150 runs. Bungee jumping is not scary as well, says Dubs there in the chat as well. I guess if you love that kind of adrenaline side of it, you will absolutely love it more than likely. Travis said at the moment, 62 is on his back. He was able to get way more than that in the last innings that he was playing at the Gabba, but this is going to be different territory. They want to probably end up, rather than him going all out and going extremely quickly, I think they will just want to make sure that he does stay at the crease for a little while. Hamid able to cut that one off at point. And yep, it's fun. It's also really fun. I see. And also, I've got there. It is not scary. It's an opportunity of a lifetime for some. And also, it's fun as well. Says Dubs there. Go Australia. Says Sydney Thunder fan there. Or Sydney Thunder fan. I feel like that's a little bit of a tongue twister when you say it together 5 times fast as well. And Queenstown bungee jumping is the best to trust as well. Says Dubs there. Yeah, bungee jumping. It is something I know that a lot of people want to see. Skydiving as well. I haven't actually been. What is the most extreme thing I've done? It's probably only like skiing, which I feel like everyone will be like, skiing, like, skiing. I know that someone smacked into a shed though. While I was skiing, I heard the bang, and then they got wheeled past me on like the kind of stretcher thing. And the person asked, "Are you all right?" And they went, ugh. So that's the reason that I decided to stay on the beginner slope throughout that whole trip. Fun fact, rather than going out there and going on the advanced one, because that is the one that they smacked into the big old shed with as well. So if that teaches you anything, know how to brake if you are on skis. It's the pizza and the French fries. You got to go pizza if you want to go fast, French fries. Oh, sorry, it's French fries if you want to go quick, pizza if you want to go slow. It's probably lucky I didn't go on the advanced, or else I could have been the one smacking into the shed going, after going past it. But 102 for 5 here at the moment. 102.5 overs down, I should say, as well. 253 for 3 here for the Australians. And also, look, Mum, let's go snowboarding as well, says Dwubs there in the chat. Now, at the moment, it is going to be Chris Wokes following once again around the wicket, and that is going to be the end. You have ruined our kids' dreams as well, says Dwubs there in the chat. So, I mean, as long as you know your skill level, I guess is the thing that I would recommend knowing. Like that, if there's a shed at the end of the if there's a shed there, like, don't run into it. We all know that it was you that hit the shed as well, says Amy Spencer. I would tell you who it is, but they actually know about the live stream, so I don't think I will embarrass them for that one as well. I can't wait for the bungee jumping as well. I'm going on the highest one in the world, the Bloklands. Hopefully I pronounced that not too badly. Bridge, which is in South Africa at the Eastern Cape as well. Says it Rugby Boy there. And now Steve Smith once again going to be on strike. And Robinson will be bowling. Can he pick up this massive wicket of Steve Smith as well as Labuschagne getting out the dynamic duo? And at the moment, I'd say if they can pick up one more wicket before they get to the end of the session, they'd probably be not too disappointed with that one, England. Because at the end of the day, 253, it's a good total. But it is also probably not as many runs as a lot of people would have been expecting Australia to have by this point in time. Definitely on a quick surface like this pitch at the Adelaide Oval. And with a lot of heat on that surface as well, I feel like it's going to keep on quickening up. And that is why maybe in the evening session, they have a bit of a bowl, see whether or not they can get themselves in a winning position of the test match, just left outside of the off stump by Steve Smith once again. And yeah, this stage, it will be interesting. Do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, in terms of if you have been snowboarding or skiing. And if you have, where did you go? Because I know that a lot of people, that's the thing. I think we went, where did we go? I know that the boys have been to Queenstown and also the Remarkables and whatnot, but I think the trip for school was at Mount something. It was a mountain. I can remember that, but I can't actually remember what mountain it was. And my dad just yelled something out, but I didn't quite hear it, unfortunately, there. The type of mountain. There's one of them. There's a tall one. It had a bit of snow on it. It's good for snowboarding, but 253 at the moment here for Australia, sitting 103 for 3. I keep on saying that, but it is 103.3 overs down in this one. So they are getting closer and closer to being able to get themselves to maybe, that's the thing, if England need to take the second new ball Like, that's going to be fatiguing. When you've only got 6 bowlers, that would mean on average everyone has probably bowled around that 30 or so over Snowy Mountains as well. And there's well nicely bowled once again by Robertson just outside of the off stump, going through at 125.9 Ks. Getting some good speed on it as well. And he ends up, it seems to be at the moment, he's getting a lot of seam movement for Robinson. It seems to be going both ways. Pun intended as well, I guess you could say. And also Kiwi Snowy Mountains as well, says Sebastian there in the chat. Yeah, we'll be interested. I know that George is relatively keen on going snowboarding again in the probably not near futures because we're in summer, but once it's winter again, I think they are keen on going snowboarding. Once again, we have actually got an old video. Mount Dobson is the call there. And there, I kind of have like a stat slash. I just got a message from my mum telling me whereabouts it was. And it was Mount Dobson that I did end up going skiing for it as well. So if anyone sees a shed at Mount Dobson, know that someone smacked into it and it wasn't me. I can say that because if I did, I probably wouldn't be able to talk this quickly. Nice hydration there. But Steve Smith at the moment, 31 runs of 119. No hurry there for Steve Smith. Why did I say bungee jumping? It's bungee jumping, or why did I say bunny jumping? Sorry, it's a bungee jumping as well. It's Afrikaans name, mate. Don't worry how you pronounce it as well. Says Rugby Boy. Yeah, I feel like I well and truly messed up the pronunciation. That is for sure. Steve Smith, end of the over, and he is still at the crease. 253 here for 3 for the Australians. Pushing further and further towards, I believe, if I'm not wrong, we were at 89 overs. So they have bowled 15 so far, and they are sitting about probably 12 minutes or so behind. So it seems like we might end up with an extra 30 minutes at the end of the day here as well, because unfortunately they were just a little bit behind there, England, for last time. But I guess that's the thing. If they do end up in that situation of getting Australia out, or Australia do declare, that could end up with maybe them losing their match fee. Once again, they actually lost 100% of it for the last match, England, which I know wouldn't have made a few people too happy. There's sure, but Travis here now going to be on strike, and it will be Chris Wokes once again around the wicket. Yorker there, almost from Chris Wokes. It's looking good for them. And it looked like I was a little bit aggressive from Chris Wokes to try and get that pitched up delivery, see if you can catch out the batsman. And at the moment, the Grey Nichols Delta is the better choice here for Travis here. Certainly hits the ball nicely, as we know from his 150 and the last one. But at the moment, I will ask the question, ladies and gentlemen, while we are so early on in this test match, who is going to be the English batsman who gets the most runs? Who are you saying? Will it be the Captain Root? Will it be Rory Burns at the top of the order, perhaps, who does get a very decent innings going? Or could it be maybe someone else? Could it be David Milan? Could it be also Hamid is in there as well? We'll just look through the rest of the batsmen as well. They've also got Ben Stokes, Ollie Pope, Joss Butler, down in that kind of middle order section. Chris Wokes, Ollie Robinson, James Anderson, or Jimmy Anderson, and also it will be Stuart Broad. So do let me know, out of all of those batsmen, who is going to be scoring the most runs for England when they do get the chance. And also, if you want to be even more specific, how many are they going to get? We have got I never did skiing before as well, says Rugby Boy. Have you been snowboarding, Rugby Boy, or just neither of the two as well? At the moment, Wokes once again going back over the wicket. Oh, it doesn't carry to Rory Burns. Or was it just short? Once again, they are going to be checking this one. 532 people have died at block runs, according to Google as well. Says so that's a nice stat that you're sharing with the group, mate. And also, hello, I'm here now as well, says Betty Wagon. And yesterday I did zip lining in the forest. That was epic. And epic. Did you do that before as well? I think the most zip lining I've done is like a flying fox for about I guess 5 meters or something like that. Top 3 runs for England. 1 will be Root, 2 will be Butler, and then 3 will be Hamid as well there as the other option. But Rory Burns, that's the second time that the ball is pulled up just short of him in the slip cordon. Nicely fielded there by, I believe, who was it there? It looks like he's a little bit rough getting to his feet. It was David Milan. He looks like he's quite sore, but he didn't do any bowling, and he also didn't really do a huge amount of fielding in that first day. So we'll be hoping that the body kind of, I guess, loosens up before he gets out there to the crease, which he will be hoping won't be today as well. I should mention I've been watching the Super Smash as well. Says Paddy Wagon. How have they been going at the moment, Paddy? Do let me know. Well, Rory Burns at the moment, his haircut is about as bad as mine as well. So we are twins in that regard. I almost got the same facial hair as him as well, to be fair, as an Auckland woman one as well. Says Shane Hayes there in the chat. At the moment, Steve Smith going to be on strike. Wokes been looking decent when he has been pitching that ball out. Squidge versus Kiwi Lads. Who can talk the fastest as well, says Rugby Boy. That is a good question. I know that Squidge can get through quite a few words per minute. So, I mean, it depends. We'd have to start an auction or something like that, but it is going to be just the one run there, Travis Head. Getting him back onto strike. And 14 runs of the last 43 deliveries here for this partnership between the two. So rebuilding nicely after losing that wicket of Marnus Labuschagne, which was a big one. And okay, I passed my exams as well. Congratulations, mate. And also welcome in, Paddy. Hope you're well as well. Sebastian there. And if you were Australia, when would you declare? I think that they will declare maybe, I'll say an hour before the end of the day or somewhere around there. That is if they're up to around that kind of 400, 360 or so. And apparently bungee jumping deaths are rare as well. And it says Amy Spencer there. And also we've got a good job, rugby boy. As I said, Paddy Wagon. So yeah, congratulations, mate. And hopefully you will enjoy your bungee jumping as a bit of a reward as well. But it is going to be hit straight to Stokes. He hasn't actually bowled yet today, but I assume he might not be a mile off. Yeah, as well. Thanks, mate. I hope you're well too as well, says Paddy Wagon there. And the chat, but do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, who is the next wicket to fall? Will it be Travis Head or will it be Steve Smith? Because at the moment, it seems like both of these men are going to be sticking around for a while. I'm actually going to say it's going to be Travis Head here, who does lose his wicket next. I think he's going to be caught, and I've just got that little bit of a feeling that someone who is coming kind of over the wicket there, maybe Chris Wokes will be able to get him to just edge that one through to the slip corner. And we have also got that. Can't Australia declare now? We saw enough bat from Australia as well as given they could if they did want to. That's a shot there from Travis Head. I wouldn't mind seeing a few more of those because that's a nice classic cover drive almost from Travis Head. A little bit of a cross bat shot, and he does get the 4 runs of the first delivery of the new over. Was that the last ball of the over? It was. Oh, okay. I just realized there, Chris Wokes bowled a no ball once again for that one, which is why we had an ad, and then we came back into the cricket to see a 4 hit by Travis Head. So pretty much it was the end of the over, but then he ended up bowling the no ball, which then meant that he did get smacked to the boundary as well. Thanks, man, as well, says Rugby Boy there. And at the chat as well. At the moment, Dun Milan not too happy with the fielding effort from himself there. He looks like he's defeated at the moment, Dun Milan. They've got a super duper slow motion of him. That's going to be the end of the over. And now it will be Robinson who is going in. Yeah, the boys as well, says Johnny Blakes. Welcome into the live stream, mate. Hope you are doing well and hope you are excited to watch a little bit of. Have you ever watched a test match, Johnny? Do let me know, or whether you are, I mean, a test match in cricket, I should say, rather than rugby. But what do you think of England's fixtures that they have got coming up, how they are going to be taking on South Africa and the All Blacks at the end of the year for the Autumn International? Surely you will be excited about those ones and who you've got between the Brave and the Aces today, Betty, as well, or tonight, sorry, says Sebastian there. But at the moment, Ollie Robinson at the moment, he's bowled 5.1 overs, 3 maidens, 2 runs and 1 wicket. And big love, Johnny, as well, says Sebastian there in the chat. But once again, Stamina and Robinson, he's shown that if you push the ball up just a little bit more, there can be a little bit of opportunity to be able to take the wickets. We did see him get Marnus Labuschagne out twice in the same innings as well just before. But now, Steve Smith, they need to get Steve Smith out here if they do want any chance of being able to get anywhere near bowling them out as well. And also, we've got there probably the Aces as well. See that Paddy Wagon there in the chat. But currently 3 wickets down, 260 runs here for Australia. And Robinson, he is just putting in a shift, just continuing to just steam into the crease. He bowls it around that 125, 130. So he never really, I guess you could say, he's not like a Mark Wood who does just put 100% into everything. He really concentrates on that line and length for Robinson, and that's going to be the dot ball. Once again, I have not watched a test match of cricket. I usually switch the channel. My sporting love doesn't travel far from rugby as well. Says that Johnny Blaze there on the chat as well. But yeah, test matches, they are very long. That is for sure 5 days worth. And we were talking about it yesterday. Difference between test match and T20. T20, you can watch for 3.5 hours and you know who wins. Test match, you can watch for 4 days, which is a total of 24 hours of batsmen, like just batting flat out and bowling. And you still don't know who's going to win. Please tell me they're going to get another wicket soon as well, says Aiden. I feel like they might. It's going to be worth a crack here for England if they can close out this session. Like, that's the thing. They've still got another probably, I would say, at least 8 overs left here for themselves to be able to try and get themselves another wicket. We haven't seen Stokes bowl as of yet. We don't know whether or not the injury might be playing a little bit of a factor. Much love, my man Sebastian. You're the man. Bro, you carry this channel plus the Discord. Much appreciated, bro, as well. Says that Johnny Blaze, he does indeed. And he has got the new out emoji for the cricket as well that he did create the other day. And also we have got the 6 emoji that was also made by Sebastian. So we do appreciate him. John, that is George nearby Amish as well, says Kevin. Unfortunately, he did say that he might not be able to come around for this one. So I'm waiting to see whether or not he does end up coming around. Yeah, he said he'll let me know in the chat if he does end up coming around for another segment of George Loves Cricket, or George Learns Cricket, I should say. Nicely bowled once again by Robinson. A little bit too pitched up though, and it is going to be hit out mid-wicket way by Smith. Looking like it will be the 2 runs, and Stuart Broad able to cut it off as well. We have got there Pakistan beat West Indies too, Hamish, as well. Says Robert, they did indeed in the end. 208 runs or so for the West Indies, which does hurt big time when they do get so close. But unfortunately, Pakistan just able to chase it down with an over spare as well. It was a nice shot from Steve Smith. Looks like they were running hard between the wickets. And I believe that they did just get back for the 2, or did they get the 3? They did indeed. Good running between the wickets from Steve Smith to be able to get in there. And now he will be on the strike for the next over as well. For Steve Smith, we have got there, not even the fastest rapper in the world. Won't make it if Squidge is rapping as well. Says a rugby boy there, and I have the power as says Johnny Blaze there. And the chat as well. Of course, Mr. Moderator for Johnny Blaze is able to block people at all sorts now. For that one as well. Go Australia, says rugby boy at the moment. Travis Head. One more delivery left. Oh, it's going to be close to an LBW. I think it's going to be a little bit high, though. And it will be racing away almost to the boundary, but cut off in the deep. They're going to be trying to cut back, and they do get back for the 3 as well. Thought it was once again raining, but it is the printer going off at the moment, who won the first test match of the series as well. It was Australia who were able to win it relatively comfortably in the end, winning it by, I believe it was 9 wickets in the end. But Robertson, a little bit expensive there, was pitching outside leg as well. So the height factor was going to be always a problem with the outside leg side of it as well. There was no bet on it. I was got the Australia from Robert on the tap for who was able to win it. So, yeah, England really needed this one or the Boxing Day test to be able to still have a chance of being able to get themselves the Ashes. But if Australia win this one and they win the next one, then it is already won for the Aussies, and they will go into the SCG and also to Hobart with a lot of confidence. And maybe they'll trial a few things as well. So it means that Steve Smith is a cheat. Remember what he did to my South Africans when Australia played in South Africa as well. Says rugby boy there. He is the captain for this match as well. He has actually been back promoted after Pat Cummins is out. So he was vice captain for that one. And they did decide that he is going to be back out there for him. There for him, that was almost a sentence. Hydration. But yeah, pretty much if all of a sudden it is going black on the live stream, it is because more than likely my glass has tipped over sideways onto my multi-box and everything's gone boom. As well, also we have got there, George killed me yesterday, Hamish, as well. Says Aiden there, and is that Chris Gale still playing cricket as well? Also, that English fellow playing as well. So that would be Jofra Archer. He is not here due to injury. They're actually bringing in Joe Root to the bowling attack, and also Chris Gale. He is retired from international duty, I believe, unfortunately, but also it is going to be in that situation of it is going to be. What was I saying? I think he's still playing in a couple of the domestic competitions. It's been a while as well. Says Nathanson. Welcome into the live stream, mate. Hope you are doing well and hope you are enjoying the test match so far. The second match of the Ashes. Travis Head on strike to Joe Root. This is actually a good battle here because Joe Root, he's got that angle when he is coming round the wicket as well. This might actually create an edge. It's nicely played there by Travis Head, reaching out to get that, trying to get that ball as well. And also we have got there, tell me when is your funeral as well. Says that rugby boy there in the chat. But the Delta is in hand of Travis Head. 150 runs he was able to get himself in the first innings of the first session at the Gabba as well. Nicely bowled by Joe Root. Looked like he was advancing there for a second. Travis Head decided to go back off the back foot though. And also we have got there probably soon if it's when George kills me for real as well, says Aiden there in the chat. But yeah, I'm not too sure whether or not we do get to have a George Learns Cricket segment today, unfortunately. I think he might be a little bit busy, sadly. That's well bowled by Joe Root once again, getting it in the right spot. Now, he did struggle to find the line and length to the right-handers yesterday. Steve Smith, he ended up just veering a little bit too far down leg side. But at the moment, 3 balls on the money so far from his own. Yep, and a chat from Rugby Boy. Now, that's going to be a bowl. Nicely advancing. Oh. Tell you what, Travis Head there, little bit of confidence from it. Did end up advancing down the wicket, but then pulled out of it as well there. So Travis Head, he looks like he doesn't want to get kind of held down by the spinners. He ends up taking a step forward, tries to play the cut shot, but then gets the foot back as well. Or he did actually end up just leaving that foot down as well as George on holiday or still working as well. He has been working pretty much all throughout. Oh, a little bit of a mix up there. Steve Smith, he did end up saying no for that run because he did end up, I guess, blocking Joe Root just a little bit. So he decided that it was a no rather than a yes, not taking the run there. Well done from Steve Smith at the non-striker's end. But yeah, Travis Head doing very nicely to keep his foot grounded. He's moving all over the place, Travis Head. And the crease, that is the end of the first over of Joe Root. And perhaps that battle is going to keep on going because I know that George tomorrow is going to Tekapo to cut, I believe he said 50 hectares of grass they are going to be doing as well. So it is going to be a busy season for George at the moment. But after that, hopefully we will be able to get that video together that we do want to do of having all 4 of us together for some sort of video as a plan as well. But at the moment, we're waiting to see what will happen in the later sessions of the day. I believe England will get a bat later on in the day unless Australia just end up batting out this whole one as well. Gale didn't retire. He just cut back on certain tours as well, says Robert Miller. Oh, is he still playing international duty, Robert, overall? Because I know that Moeen Ali retired from Test match cricket recently as well, didn't he? In terms of not being able to do it. So I guess, will he be there for the Cricket World Cup next year, maybe? Could be an opportunity, right? Ben Stokes now is going to be bowling here. They are getting to half an hour left in the session. So they've decided now Ben Stokes, they're going with the short stuff. They've got a bat pad here as well, and they're going to see whether or not they can pick up that wicket of Steve Smith. I'm looking at how they've set the field at the moment. They've got a deep square leg. They've got a deep fine leg as well. You stream into the end of day 2 as well, says Nathan Sim. That is the plan. As long as the voice does keep going throughout the whole day, I will be doing the whole of day 2 as well. But if it does end up kind of cutting in and out my voice, I'll probably end up doing the first and the final session as well. Moeen Ali should be at the T20 World Cup as well, says Sebastian there in the chat as well. And also was fast bowler called Stephen Finn for England as well. Says, was Kevin Thomas there? The name rings a bell, Stephen Finn as well. But now Stokes, straight away, short ball. It's ramped over the offside from Steve Smith, and he just glides it down to third man for the 4 runs. Good shot straight away, showing that he's not afraid to play the short stuff. And Ben Stokes just getting that one a little bit wrong. Partnership moves up onto 31 runs now of 58 deliveries. So we have got the retirement on the 6th of November 2021. Gale retired from international cricket, and he played his last T20 international match against Australia in the Shrieks Yard Cricket Stadium as well. So yeah, unfortunately, it does mean that we're not going to see him at international level, but hopefully we do get to see in that situation. Oh, who knows? Maybe we do get to see him play. And I guess the IPL is normally one that he does get to play in, isn't it? Since rugby commentary is quite poor compared to yours, but I don't think he made his live streams of commentary as well, says Rugby Boy. It is probably more for him to just talk about the game with you guys as well. That's going to be the short ball. And in the end, doesn't decide to play it there, Steve Smith. And he didn't have to because it was called a wide as well. Just a little bit too high over the head. And then it's going to be one short ball for the over here from Ben Stokes. But at the moment, 4 runs off the first delivery, a wide. Also, I guess you could say off the first delivery, and also one more IPL and CPL for Gale. Oh, I love it as well, says Sebastian. Yeah, he's just got power for days. He doesn't run between the wickets too much in our days, but certainly still hits a long ball when he does get the opportunity. Well played by Smith, getting right behind the line of the ball. Just being able to block that one. At the moment, Ben Stokes, like they're saying, if he gets it wrong, it's a 4 runs for Steve Smith. He is too talented of a batsman to be able to just keep on going. I feel like you need to get it around the chest height, maybe a little bit higher. I feel like that last one of Stokes, I want to say it was about a meter above the head there. And also we have got there watching Sydney sail GP as well as scenery while joining the stream as well, says Ed Vogel. And didn't Labuschagne get out twice today, but one was a no ball. He did indeed, Nathan Sim. And he also got out twice, or he would have been out twice yesterday, but they did drop both of the catches there. Not quite as short as he possibly would have liked that one, Ben Stokes, but just changing up the length, seeing whether or not can try and get Steve Smith hesitant, who's moved up onto 41 runs of 129. So he's certainly been upping that strike rate, sitting at 31.78. And that doesn't sound like a lot of strike rate, but he was only going at around that 28 or so yesterday as well. So he's slowly speeding up there as well. At the moment, Ben Stokes, he is such a battler out on the field, that is for sure. He just keeps on going. Yesterday, when he was throwing the ball in from the deep, he almost threw himself over forwards, just trying to get that one in. So short ball once again, played nicely by Steve Smith. Pierces the gap as well, but there is a man back there, Rory Burns, to cover that one in the deep. At the moment, it's just that massive question of how do you get Steve Smith out? And they always ask that question. Anyone who plays Steve Smith asks that question as well. 2 balls left of this over for Ben Stokes. How long will they stick to the short stuff as well is the other thing for England here. 2 deliveries left. Ben Stokes, how long can his body handle just continuing to just bang it into the pitch and hope to get that wicket of Smith in the near future? But anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We are going to be back for plenty more of the Ashes, and also we do cover the KFC Big Bash and also a little bit of rugby on the channel. There was the news earlier on Leinster versus Montpellier. They have actually awarded the win to Montpellier, as they will not be playing that matchup on the Friday or Saturday morning. Sorry, it's a nice short ball there to Travis here, so they're going to try the short stuff for him as well, by the looks of it. Judge Paddy lays down the lower as well, says Sebastian there in the chat. And also, Jofra Archer has been ruled out of all cricket for the rest of the year following a reoccurrence of fracture, for his right elbow. So, yeah, it is a shame that he will not be able to kind of compete for the rest of this year. Does that mean how far into next year, Robert, Do you know how long that injury is going to extend to? Because hopefully it isn't too long, because Jofra Archer, definitely with that extra pace, could be very useful on the Australian surfaces, of course. So it is a shame that we don't get to see him. Just a little bit stray on leg side there for Ben Stokes. It's looking like his body's a bit sore, but that's going to be the end of the 108th over, and it will be 174 for 3 here for the Australians at the moment. It seems like 400 is definitely on the cards here for Australia before they decide to declare. They may even go for a big session for the next one. The middle session, they might just start going bang. Steve Smith, by then he should have maybe brought up his 50, and then from there he will just go a little bit more aggressive, but it is going to be Joe Root who will be bowling this one to Steve Smith. I wouldn't be surprised if Steve Smith tries to advance for one of these deliveries here and possibly try and get himself a 4 or the first 6 of the test match. We haven't seen one yet. Is it coming soon? Very similar field. Down the wicket advancing there, Steve Smith. Almost cut off nicely, yes it was, by Robinson there, who was able to get down and also was able to cut it off. So now it will be Travis Head on strike. Now this battle between him and Root is looking pretty good so far. It seems like he was able to really find that right line to the left-hander. And if Joe Root can get it right multiple times in a row, perhaps he can sneak through and get himself a wicket here as well. Oh, Travis Head, the partnership moves up onto 34 of 65 deliveries. Good pitched up delivery, and it is going to be fielded there by, I believe it was Double Milan once again at short cover. So far, 30 minutes left for this one as well. Slightly dragged down delivery from Joe Root, and it's going to be the single once again there for Travis Head. It's keeping the strike rotating very nicely here for Australia at the moment. Just singles and also a couple boundaries coming in recent overs as well. These yawns are going to annoy me, that is for sure. It's not as dark at the ground as it is here in my background, although it was a very nice sunset yesterday we did see. And the pink ball, there were a couple chances. Nathan Lyon also yawning. He caught the yawn train at the moment. Nicely played there by Steve Smith. Just glides it down to backward point, and that is going to be another 4 runs. He gets closer and closer to bringing up that 50 runs for himself. He's sitting on 47 of 132 deliveries here for Steve Smith. The partnership moves up on to 39 off 68. They're actually going at a very good rate here for this partnership, but Steve Smith just glides it down. And unfortunately for Joe Root, he didn't have anyone out there to be able to cover that one. He's got quite a few men on the leg side, so this is probably when he does need to get it on the leg side there. He's decided to come over the wicket now for Joe Root. Nice bit of spin. It is nicely blocked by Steve Smith. I feel like that is something that Joe Root, we didn't really see too much from him yesterday. We actually only saw the one ball he put outside the off stump, and it spun right back in. But that was the only ball that he didn't bowl that wasn't on kind of middle and leg. Well, that one. So if he keeps that up, nicely advancing there from Steve Smith, trying to cut it down, and that is going to be the end of the over, 109 down, and it is going to be 280 for 3 here for the Australians. So 6 off that as well, and also we have got their best moment in cricket this year as well, says Nathan Sim. Oh, are we talking just international, or are we talking all levels of cricket? Nathan, do let me know how much he's looking at as well, says Robert. So yeah, hopefully we do get to see him back for some of those ones kind of mid-year. I know that New Zealand, they have got themselves Australia, the Netherlands, South Africa, and also I believe we've got Bangladesh as our test matches that we have got coming up. Bangladesh and South Africa, and then the T20s up against the Netherlands and also up against the Australians. I don't believe we play a test match up against the Netherlands that I know of. Do we? Surely not. I feel like the most that we would do up against the Netherlands is an ODI, or else that would just be slightly mean. I usually say, but now Ben Stokes once again with the short stuff whipped away off the leg of Travis Head. Once again, nicely played. And it is once again going to be just kept to the single by themselves as well. But Joss Butler behind the stunts. We have what's got there. Good afternoon, Hamish. Any England bowlers cooked yet as well? I tell you what, it's getting closer. 36 degrees Celsius it is sitting at the moment. All levels of cricket. I would say, actually, to be fair, this is probably a moment that a lot of people may not say, but Fraser McGurk's catch in the deep for the Melbourne Renegades, that one-handed screamer where he jumped straight up in the air, took the catch. He's only a very young player as well, Fraser McGurk, and I feel like that would have been an absolutely awesome moment for him at Marvel Stadium, and I feel like that just well and truly lit the Big Bash up, because that was the very first game that we got to see Ed from Steve Smith over the top of Joss Butler, and that is going to be another 4 runs. That will bring up the 50 in a slightly unorthodox way, but Steve Smith once again gets himself to 50, 51 runs of 135 deliveries, and it is 8 fours for him as well, which is actually the amount that Marnus Labuschagne was able to get when he did get his 103 as well. 53 more runs to go for Smith as well. And how good is Smith as well, says Hamish Spencer. Very class batsman, that is for sure. His 32nd Test 50 in 79 matches. He's gone on to get 27 hundreds. That's a stat and a half, really, because that means there's only been 5 occasions where he's got 50 that he doesn't get the 100. So the odds are in his favour to be able to go right on and keep on increasing this strike rate for himself as well. It's up to 37.78, and I feel like by the end of this innings, perhaps it will be up to around that kind of 42 or so. But can Steve Smith get himself to the 100, ladies and gentlemen? Do let me know. Short ball once again, nicely played by Steve Smith, gets above the bounce, and it is going to be whipped away to the leg side. Wokes fields it at the deep square leg there as well. And at the moment, Butler, he will be hoping that this wicket of Steve Smith comes very soon. It must get very fatiguing on the leg. Smith is in full demolition mode as well. And that was good, but not even close to Ajaz Patel as well, says Nathan Simmer. Yeah, I guess you could say for Ajaz Patel being able to get the 10 wickets, although I thought for that one is in the best individual moment. So I was thinking of just a single ball rather than like the full-on innings, I guess you could say, because I feel like for Ajaz Patel, you almost need to mention every single ball of that spell that got him the 10 wickets. We have what's got there, what kind of sweets may player keep with them on the cricket field as well. Oh, what kind of sweets? I know that some players, they do have those little tubes of stuff that I still don't know what they are, but I think it's like electrolytes and whatnot, kind of like a little yogurt type thing. But also some players, I believe some of them like to have a banana every once in a while as we play you in ODI and T20 as well, says Robert there. And the chat also we have got there. I think the Gabba serves the best cricket experience. I've been to the SCG, MCG, and also Optus as well, says Ed Vogel there. Have you been to the Blundstone Arena, or is that one that you would like to go to in the future? I feel like you've almost been to all the locations of the test matches, other than also you haven't got there this ground at Adelaide. So maybe that could be on the future bucket list there. Nicely played there by Travis Head, and just glides it down to the fine leg, which is Ollie Pope. We haven't really seen too much of him recently as well. Sandpaper, they eat Smith in 2018 as well. And there says it was a Nathan Simmer at the moment. 52 runs for Steve Smith. The partnership moves up onto 46. There is one delivery left of this over. And at the moment, Australia getting closer and closer to being able to bring up that 300 without losing too many of those wickets at all. At the moment, it is 109.5 overs down. Hobart is like Auckland and overalls as well. Or Auckland and overalls, says Tom there. And the chat, but at the moment now, Steve Smith, he has brought up his 50. Can he go on to bring up the 100? If he gets a 4 here, that actually brings up the 50-run partnership between him and Travis Head as well. Short ball from Stokes, tries to glide it there down to third man, does miss the ball, and that is going to be the end of the 110th over. 287 for 3 here for the Australians. And also we have got there, Smith is the greatest Australian captain as well, says Amy Spencer there. And at the chat as well, oh, I smell someone cooking food. We are currently sitting at approximately tea time here in New Zealand. Trying to work out what it is, but I can't quite work it out, unfortunately. It smells all right, though. That is for sure. And at the moment, we are sitting 6:38 p.m., so we are only around 20 minutes away from this session coming to an end, and then we will have our next session starting up, and it will be at 7:40 when it does come back. And also, I almost went to Blundstone Arena with 10 overs left in the day, and they wanted me to pay the full ticket price as well, and that's pretty unfortunate. Like, I feel like as the day goes on, surely it gets cheaper and cheaper, because some of the grounds, they do actually let you in for free right at the end as well, sometimes depending on kind of what stage of the day it is. But Steve Smith at the moment, his wagon wheel certainly favours the leg side normally with his single Steve Smith, but overall, his fours have actually come more on the offside. In that regard, he's at about 5 or 6 there, and that's going to be pitched up. Joe Root almost into the corner bowl, but Travis Head, aggressive shot, hits it down the ground. It's England's bowlers on slow break as well, says Tom Martin there. I mean, to be fair, if it smells like that out there, I feel like I wouldn't be able to do much batting because I'd be too concentrated on going, geez, that smells all right at the moment. And also, why did you go with 10 overs left in the first place? Want to see the end of it? As also your name is Hamish Booth as well, says that Rugby Boy. It is indeed. I feel like, have you looked me up on Instagram or something like that, mate? You let me over. At the moment, it is sitting there in the situation of England. They are struggling once again with the heat. It is going to be a hot day there at the moment. 36 degrees. Update on the SailGP Sydney as well. It's going to bowl him. And Joe Root picks up the wicket of Travis Head, and he is fired up as well. Joe Root, that is going to be the 4th wicket down. Hits him for 4 down the ground, the ball prior, and then takes out his stumps there, the captain of England, Joe Root. And also update on SailGP Sydney 2021 race 1, won by Spain, Great Britain, and Australia as well. And it there says Ed Vogel, but brilliant delivery from Joe Root. This is when they go upstairs and see that it's a no ball, but luckily it is not for Joe Root. Nice bit of turn there. Nathan Lyon will see that and know that he is going to have a fun day out of the office in the later stages of the test match. But Joe Root fired up. He was just saying, come on, straight in the face of Travis Head there. And also Joe Root is a cheat as well. Says Amish apparently. And also we have got that fantastic congrats England as well. Also we have got that let's go the Poms. England, let's go as well, says Aiden. And now at the moment, we have got another break. That is 4 down now for them. So it is going to be Travis Head, unfortunately, out for only the 18 runs off 36 deliveries. We will update that on our scoring sheet. I believe it will be Cameron Green now making his way to the crease. Now, he will remember himself the golden duck that he did get in the last innings, but he will be trying to forget it, of course. That is always very tough to forget when you do end up getting out that early. We're going to go Travis Head there, and we will go like that, and we will go 18 runs off 36 deliveries there for Travis Head. There we go. We all go like that as well. And then we go like this. There we go. It's going back across the bottom. And also Head played all around it as well. And this is Tom Martin there. Yeah, unfortunately, just got it a little bit wrong. They are showing there that Joe Root, he actually added a little bit more flight on the last one and then even more flight on that delivery. And Travis Head just tried to hit it a little bit too hard. We have got the outs and the chat from Robert as well, using the new emoji that we have got as well. And Green out, golden duck again as well, says Nathan Sim there. And now at the moment, he is going to be on strike. Cameron Green, average of 29.5 for Test match cricket. Number 6 batsman for Australia. They have got Alex Carey still to come. Also, they have got a couple other men there as well. Green will get a second 50 this test as well, says Amish Spencer there. But they have got Alex Carey, like I mentioned. Also, Michael Nisa might need to have a little bit of a bat. Mitchell Stark. And then it is also Nathan Lyon finishing it out with Jai Richardson. Plays for the Perth Scorchers. Was actually almost the leading wicket taker, if not the leading wicket taker as well. And also we have got there surely, England has surely won the session as well. And now it is going to be Green on strike. Oh, it was a good Yorker almost bowled by, it was Joe Root there, sitting on 1 for 47 here. And there as well, but 91 in that one as well. But we have got there, Green will get his second Test 50 as well. And then from Amy Spencer, we will have to wait and see whether or not he can do so. He can hit a long ball for himself, Cameron Green. But now at the moment, Joe Root looks like he's got a little bit of confidence. He was able to pick up the left-hander. I feel like he'll want more left-handers, so Carey is going to be the next target as well. It's nicely pitched up there. Down the ground from Cameron Green, but straight to the man there. And the number 80. Who's number 80? I think that is Joe Burns, if I'm not wrong, as well. England won the session, please, as well. I'll be back sometime in the second session as well. And England has surely won the session as well, says Aiden there in the chat. Also, England should finish last few batsmen now as well. It's going to be just outside of the off stump. And that will be the end of it. So Labuschagne so far has fallen. Also, they have got that other wicket as well. And 4 for 291 and 111 overs is winning nothing as well, says Tom there in the chat. And at the moment, 111 and also 291 for 4 here for the Australians. They're still working hard to try and get themselves towards that 400 before possibly declaring, getting a little bit of a late bowl up against them as well. But what I will quickly do now while we are at it, I will set up our second live stream as well. And the chat, we will go like this and we will go like that. But that was not a good shot there from Travis Head. Unfortunately, like we mentioned, played all around that ball. Got nowhere near the delivery, unfortunately. Almost got yorked for himself going forward. And it as well, I just got it completely wrong. And Smith get it done as well. Says a virtuality. And at this stage, it's looking like he is going to be going at a decent strike rate to be able to get towards that. Steve Smith sitting with his current strike rate of 38. It's going to be the short ball, nicely played. Glided down to the man at fine leg, which in this one is Ollie Robertson, who was able to pick up that initial wicket of, in the end, it was the big wicket, I should say, as well. Wasn't just a wicket, it was a huge one. And it was Marnus Labuschagne who he was able to get out. So what we will be doing is the next session of the day will be starting at 6:40. So we will be starting at, 7:40, I should say. So we will be starting at 7:35. It gives us a little bit of time to chat about what happened in the session prior, talk about the wickets that did fall, talk about who was able to bring up their milestones as well. So we'll be creating that live stream just now so that I can send you guys over to it as soon as this one's over. But if you haven't already, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It is hugely appreciated. Stokes now going to be bowling once again. Australia all out 382 prediction as well, says Nathan Sim there for the prediction there. Now Ben Stokes currently bowling to Cameron Green, who hasn't got a run yet off the bat. Going to be nicely bowled. It's glided down. And I believe, did that hit the pad or was it off the bat there for Cameron Green? He might have just got himself off the mark. Was it leg buys? It looks like it might have been. Yes, it was off the bat. So Cameron Green now gets himself on the mark. What a stupid prediction. there. And the chat, tell you what, you really love Australia, don't you, Hamish? Anyone who says anything about anyone else, you just hate. I notice as well. But I guess it's all right. We don't mind you. That's all right there. I tell you what, if he is right, though, I am putting it up on the screen. I will warn you of that if he does get it correct, I do have to put it up, and it is kind of legally obliged that I do end up showing it for that one as well. Now, Ben Stokes once again, bold Steve Smith. No, it's Cameron Green gone, and he has gone out for the 2 runs of 4 deliveries there. And I mean, I don't, do I do it? No, I don't want to do it. I was going to say in that situation, I'll say I'd time it out someone for having the wrong information. Green will get a second 50 this test. He did end up facing 5 deliveries, but nonetheless, that is going to be the 5th wicket now. And Ben Stokes goes straight through him. Beautiful delivery. Cameron Green plays all around, and that is going to be the 5th wicket down. Green's gone in there as well, says Aiden. And the chat, and Ben Stokes now picks up his 2nd of the day. And now 3 wickets falling for Australia in this session. They've still got about 15 minutes left. They cannot afford to lose any more wickets in this one, that is for sure. And at the moment, that is another one. England gets sent home for being Cats after losing in a 5-0 game as well. Says Amish Spencer there in the chat as well, but that was a brilliant delivery. Just pitching outside of the off stump, coming back in just a tad. And Ben Stokes does get himself another wicket there. Series is my prediction as well. And in the chat as well, says Amish Spencer there as well. But now at this stage, it is going to be now Alex Carey making his way out to the middle for this one. Oh, someone opened the door and now I can smell the food even more. And I know that I haven't got any food there for when I get to have something. Australia are falling as well, says Kevin there in the chat. Also, I've got my prediction is Australia all out for 400 as well. Come on, England. Let's go make me 160 from 20 as well. Says it was Aiden there in the chat. Come on, England. Let's make me 160 from 20. Oh, did you actually back England to win? You did, didn't you? If I'm not wrong, out there from a Robert. But now Alex Carey is at his home ground of the Adelaide Oval. Going to be an exciting one, that is for sure, for that man, because he is getting an opportunity to go out there in front of a home crowd and try and reset this innings at the moment for Australia. They do need someone to stick around with Steve Smith if he does want to go on to get himself his 100. Also, since we all know Australia can't beat Bangladesh, they lost 4-1 as well. There as well, and Kerry will get his 14th Test 50 as well. There in the chat says Amish Spencer. He has got 2 international matches for the Australians, and he is ready to go here, Alex Carey. It's great to see him in the Australia kit as well. I am just updating this. I'm not a fan of England as well, says Sydney Thunder fan there. And yeah, I did as well, says Aiden there in the chat. But now Ben Stokes, he's got a little bit of a spring in his step. Can he pick up another one? You need to update your scroller message. I am doing it right now as we speak. Short ball there, and Alex Carey does block it out as well. But we are going to go like this, and we will add Cameron Green to the fallen wickets that they have had so far. There we go, Cameron Green there as well. And it was 2 runs of 5 deliveries, went straight through him. And he has not had the best day with the bat, unfortunately, for him once again. It is going to be Alex Carey now at the crease. Michael Nisa will be the next man who does make his way out there as well. But Australia at the moment, they'll be aiming for minimum 350. And also we have got there, it's his 2nd game. It's impossible as well. Says that Nathan Sim there and at the chat as well. But now it is going to be just showing that delivery over and over of Cameron Green. Going straight through him. 111.4 overs down. And Carey's going to be once again on strike. Nicely played by Alex Carey, and he is able to keep that ball out as well. But him and Steve Smith, they have actually got the potential of being able to get together a very nice partnership here. But 3 wickets falling in this session. So anyone who did vote in that poll saying that it would be 3+ wickets, 25% of you were correct for how many wickets England were going to be able to get. They got the wicket of Labuschagne. They got the next wicket of, it was actually Travis Head, and then the 1 more wicket of Cameron Green with still a few overs left of this session. But at this stage, doing very nicely there. Ben Stokes able to pick up his 2nd. He's certainly one of those guys who'll just keep on steaming into the crease. See whether or not he can keep on getting himself some wickets. But now Ben Stokes once again charges in. Short ball there. Alex Carey dodges it. Gets out of the way. Good pace on that one. 135k. So England still have an 8% chance of being able to win this match as well. But that is the end of the over. Another wicket falling for Australia. And it is 294 for 5 here for this matchup as well. So now they have still got 10 minutes left before we get into the next stage. I believe they are sitting 8 overs they need to get through and only the 11 minutes. So that means that they are going to be slightly behind with their over rate. Oh, sorry, it would be 7 overs from here on out for them to get through their overs that they need to. So I assume we will have an extra half an hour at the end of the day as well here for them to try and get themselves a few extra more. Well, there's a clip of a grandma on a trolley. Interesting. Gotta love the ads. It's actually for Fanta, which George did have yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. But they are just showing a couple wickets in a row for England, and they've just opened up that little bit of momentum in their favour. And also there was a few of us that hit the 3+ as well. Says Robert, there was. Oh no, I didn't find the mute button. Nicely bowled there by Joe Root. It does just hit the pad of Steve Smith. They're not going to be allowed to run because he did not play a shot for that one as well. Hamid, I don't know whether or not he knows that because he is chasing that one extremely hard. But they did not run there, and it's just called as a dead ball there. As Steve Smith, he did not play a shot. I don't even know, does the dead ball count as a ball? I think that's just a dot ball, isn't it? Or it's just like as in like a not actually existing ball. Because Steve Smith, he did not play it up, but he is going to be the right-hander up against Joe Root, who is once again going round the wicket here for Steve Smith to see whether or not they can possibly get him to edge it round to the leg slip. If they get Steve Smith out, then it is a complete reset here for the Australians. We have got there. There are a few of us that hit the 3+ as well there, but they have got the slip on the leg side. It was Hamid, and he has been able to work it away nicely for Steve Smith. They are going to be able to get back for 2. Good running between the wickets. Steve Smith, very quick between them as well, and that is going to be a nicely run too for them. But Alex Carey here is once again a left-hander, and I feel like that is the battle that Joe Root would like for himself. He does prefer when he is up against them in that regard, but it was just a great run there. Alex Carey only really jogging it as well. He didn't really have to run very hard at all. He's very quick between the wickets, which is why these guys might be able to pick up a few 2s. Once again, down the leg side, and Steve Smith will get 200 as well. There's Amish Spencer there. And the chat as well, perhaps he will be able to bring it up. But we have just brought up 2 hours of our first session of the live stream. So like I mentioned, the next one, it is going to be taking place it will be 7:40. Or so 7:35 is when we will be starting that one back up. So I will be having a snack in between them, and then we will be back for the second session where we may see Australia either continue with their batting dominance, or we will see maybe even England get a couple overs of batting at the end of it as well, depending on what Australia decide they want to do. Nicely played once again by Steve Smith. Good pitched up delivery from Joe Root. Still on the stump, so not really giving him too much space to be able to work with. Just the 2 runs so far off this over as well. And Alex Carey, he is not going to have to face Joe Root for this over, which is good news for him, because I feel like that left-hander combo now actually going over the wicket here for Joe Root, way down the leg side, and that is going to be the end of the over for Joe Root. And it is 113 overs down now, 296 for 5 here for the Australian side. So they have still got a few batsmen left. They have got Nisa. They've got also Mitchell Stark, who will go out there and he'll be able to smack the ball around a little bit as well if he needs to. Also, Nathan Lyon, we've seen some of the nicest straight drives from that man recently. Don't know what he's been doing in terms of the batting technique, but it is working because he's looking like an opening batsman at times, Nathan Lyon Gazza there. But then also it is going to be the last man to the crease. If they do need him, it will be Jai Richardson, who does actually, that's the thing, all of these batsmen have the ability to hit a long ball in T20 cricket, and also some of them kind of go over into the test format as well. Who do you think will win as well, says Adam P. At the moment, I can tell you what the live win probability has, which is 67% for Australia, 25% as a draw, and then 8% as England. Also, we have got there, whatever we get at the end of the day, England still won't be able to chase it down as well. There's Amish Spencer there, but it is now going to be Ben Stokes once again running and just left that one outside of the off stump. Alex Carey, we do know him from the Adelaide Strikers for the BBL, I almost called it, but the BBL in Australia, the T20 competition, and that is coming back on Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. We have got Harlem in the chat. Said, what's up, bro, as well. Welcome in to the live stream, man. And also best test player, Donald Bradman, as well. He's legendary player as well. Where's coming, or is he involved with COVID as well, says Nathan. So pretty much he was a close contact of someone in a restaurant who did end up getting a text that said that they were positive, but because he was inside of the restaurant, he is now ruled out for the next 7 days. He did have a negative test, but because he is a close contact, they still have to take all the precautions due to the law in South Australia where they are playing this game. Couple other players, though. In the end, it was actually Mitchell Stark and Nathan Lyon. They both sat outside at that same restaurant, but because they were outside, they are counted as casual contacts rather than close contacts, so it does mean that they are still able to play as well. They are just showing the 2 dismissals for Cameron Green there. Both of them ended up bowling the off stump. They will certainly be looking at the technique for that one and working out what he can do. I don't think he actually realised it bowled him for that one, Cameron Green. He kind of stepped back into his crease as if he was worried about getting stumped. We have got the Australia. England's never won a day-night test in Australia as well. Says Robert there on the chat. And also we have got there. It depends if Australia bring out the sandpaper, but I believe England have a chance as well. Says Adam P there, but it is going to be Stokes once again running 2 dot balls in a row here for him. Bouncer, and Alex Carey gets over the top of it. It's a nice shot, going to be running hard at the boundary, and it's going all the way for 4 runs there. Great shot from Alex Carey to get him off the mark, and it was David Milan in the deep, just not quite able to cut that one off, but that is bringing up the 300 runs now for Australia, sitting on 300 for 5 after 113.3 overs. My voice tried to disappear there for a second. We've probably got 2 more overs left of the day. It will be Joe Root from the other end, and then maybe just 1 more that we will get to see as well, depending on whether or not they get through that second over. They will be about 4 overs behind for this session, so they would have gone through 26. So they definitely need to make sure that they do get through these 2 England. But now at the moment, it is going to be once again, or actually, sorry, if they got through 2 more, they would only be 3 overs behind Cut shot almost from Alex Carey, looking like he is willing to take on the loose ball wall. Ben Stokes has fallen down there. His legs are looking like they're pretty sore at the moment for him. And he looks like he is walking pretty gingerly at the moment there, Ben Stokes. Hydration, let me guess, they will declare on 400 as well. Says Aiden there. There is a chance, definitely, if they bring that up, it's sitting around maybe 15 overs left, or they might even go for the final session, see how it goes. Can you name lineups as well? Says Nathan Sims. So pretty much this is the whole lineup for Australia, including Steve Smith and Alex Carey. For England, they have got themselves, it is Rory Burns as the opener, alongside it is Hamid. Then they have got David Milan at 3, then Joe Root at 4 as the captain, Ben Stokes, Ollie Pope, Joss Butler, Chris Wokes, Ollie Robinson, Jimmy Anderson, and then Stuart Broad. So they have changed 2 for their first lineup, or compared to the first lineup at the Gabba, where they have taken out Mark Wood and also their spinner Jack Leach, which at the moment it's looking like there's plenty of spin on offer here for Joe Root. So maybe they would have liked to have another spinner available, and Nathan Lyon, he will be loving it in the later stages of the day as well. For either, that's the thing, probably day 3 onwards, that pitch is going to start to wear, and Nathan Lyon will be able to start to pick up a lot of wickets. Even Labuschagne might be able to get himself a couple as well while he is out of it at the moment. Stokes going for 5 runs so far off this over, the 301 runs here for the Australians. And as long as they get to lunch here without losing any more wickets, or I guess it's called tea, isn't it? Because it is the day-night test match. It always confuses me with the timings of these ones, but I know that we've got a 40-minute break, which is going to be coming up very soon. Final ball of the over. It's a Yorker there from Ben Stokes, and that is going to close out the over there. And also Warner, Harris, Marnus, Head, Green, Carey, also Nissa, Stark, Richardson, and also online and Usman's the 11th, or the 12th man, I assume that is. As I know, just hope Australia. 12th man for both teams as well, says Nathan Sim. I believe it is Usman Khawaja, and also I want to say it is Crawley, who is the 12th man for England, if I'm not wrong there. I've seen him out on the field a couple times, so I want to say that it's him, but I could be wrong. And there we go. It's got there. I just hope the Australians feel poorly as well. And yeah, that's the thing. If they drop a couple catches similar to what England did for this one, then all of a sudden, this test match is well and truly on. Like I mentioned, 8% chance for England to be able to win this one. They certainly need to get Australia all out into the next session to really give themselves a chance, but it's going to be Joe Root once again, and bring up cheating. I shouldn't be brought up. Everyone on makes mistake, lesson learns as well, and it is Stickety is 12th man for Australia, Nathan, as well. Says it Robert there. Of course, that would be Mark Stickety. Actually, is this his home ground as well? Does he play for Adelaide, or is he Brisbane Heat boy for the BBL? I know it's a blue team, but I can't think of which blue team it is that he does play for. But now it's going to be Joe Root. A little bit of a sweep almost from Alex Carey. He looks like he is a little bit still unorthodox. And also we have got there, Amish, surprise, will do full day commentary as well. I'm so excited for this as well, says Cody. So welcome into the live stream, mate. Our next live stream, it is going to be coming it will be 7:35 is when it starts as well. Fee 555. I smell cooking Englishman as well. The chat says Tom there. And the chat looks like they're changing their field just a little bit, bringing a mid-wicket in to play. And they've also still got themselves the deep square leg. So they feel that Alex Carey maybe will be willing to take on that sweep shot here. If he does think the ball is right, it is going to be Alex Carey getting out to the pitch of the ball, and there's going to be no run there. Going straight out to point, which is Chris Wokes here. And he's a Heat boy, Amish, as well. I knew he was a blue team, but I wasn't too sure whether or not it was Adelaide or the Gabba like we had last week as well. Just a fun fact, Australia have never lost a test in Adelaide as well, says Aiden. That is a very fun fact for them. And they will not want to start now. And they have also never lost a pink ball test. So if England win this game, they are making history on not just one account, but multiple as well. That is for sure. But at the moment, it is going to be Joe Root once again. Has been bowling pretty well so far, picking up that one wicket of Travis here, but also been looking dangerous anytime it is a left-hander. Alex Carey getting down to the pitch of the ball and just stopping that one from being able to sneak through. Such as the delivery that we did see to Travis here. 8% chance at the moment for England to be able to win. 25% for a draw. The weather's supposed to be pretty nice, though, for the next few days, so I don't think the weather will play too much factor. Nicely played once again by Carey, and they will be running a single. It could be a run-out opportunity. They do get through, though. Nicely run between the wickets, but it was a little bit tight there for them as well. Joe Root, he brings up his 50, but just for the bowling side of it rather than the batting. Although maybe he will be able to get it as well. And also we've got their best test bowler, paceman, Charlie Anderson as well. Says that Nathan Sim, although I know that they would have loved to have Mark Wood's pace that he brings to the table for this one. And missed 2 wickets as well, says the Sebastian there, with head out and also green out there in the chat with the emojis. Anyone who does want access to the emojis, it is the channel membership that does give you access to those ones as well. But nonetheless, at the moment, it is going to be Steve Smith once again. He will be on strike for the final delivery of Joe Root's over. Imagine captain to captain. Can he get him? No. Just going to be blocked out. And I believe they will have time for one more, do they? Or is it going to be the end? They're going to be looking close. And my clock says 7 p.m. So I believe, we got about 10 seconds left. So it does mean we're going to get one more over as well. And also we have got there when they are struggling as well. Says Aiden there in the chat. With the sandpaper, and also we have got the Hamish, can you recall any black cat sledging moments or cricketers and any former cricket as well, says Coding. It's actually quite funny you asked that because George, as you guys know, George doesn't know a huge amount about cricket. And the first thing that he said to me is, I want to watch a sledging montage. So he saw it was actually Gilly, the Australian. You guys know him pretty well. And they were going Gilly, Gilly, Gilly behind the stumps. And he said, he said something that I can't repeat on the live stream, but pretty much it was off, mate, as well behind the stumps. And George really enjoyed that as well. But that is going to be Ben Stokes getting the final over of this session. So England not too bad in terms of the over rate at this stage. Only going to be the 3 overs behind it. And but New Zealand, I remember New Zealand bowled an underarm to Australia as well, says Robert. Wait, wasn't it the other way around? Was it the other way around? Or was it the other way around? Or did New Zealand do it first? Maybe. At the moment, Cameron Green, they're just showing that one there. It ended up gliding. It actually hit his pad there. Cameron Green, unfortunately for him, just went straight through, and the zinger bails went absolutely flying for that one. He didn't realize it bowled him either. I don't think he heard it. Turned around, saw that his stumps had gone flying, and he was like, it's unfortunate. So I might just leave that one as well. And also, no, Aussies do the underarm not Kiwi as well. Wasn't it the other way around, says Nathan Sim there in the chat as well. And also, we have got Marnus and Butler. We're exchanging words yesterday. Yes, I do, Robert, as well, says Aiden there in the chat. The other moment we have got there, Sanel to Merv Hughes, you're nothing but a big fat bus conductor as well, says Tom. There are some interesting sledging lines that we have heard as well. Bouncer there, bowled to Alex Carey. So it seems like Ben Stokes still going to stick with that shorter ball, see whether or not he can pick himself up a nice late wicket in this session. This is the final over. 4 balls to go until we get to tea, and then we have got a 35-minute break, ladies and gentlemen, and then we will be back rearing to go for our next session, which we are going to be covering, and that will be starting at 7:35, I should say, New Zealand time as well. So anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe because we are going to be back once again. Doesn't Australia have a lot of green pitches as well? Says it Kevin there in the chat. Do have some nice surfaces. I believe there's 8 millimeters of grass on this one as well. Did you see Trent Bolt flamingo style batting as well? Tell you what, they always compare him to Charlie Chapman because you never know what he's going to do, and he always does it like completely in silence as well for him as well. And also we have got there, actually, it was Australia bowling to New Zealand as well. Sees that Robert there in the chat. And also we have got there, Merv is replying on sending out tickets, please, as well. Says, and it was in that situation, I told me. And also we have got there, Butler has dropped so many single catches, which cost England in first innings. Matt Pryor criticised him also as well, says Cody. Yeah, unfortunately for him, he took a screamer down the leg side, but unfortunately for him, sadly, it did mean that it was, a sitter of Marnus Labuschagne, where he wasn't able to get him on 95. Luckily, they still got him on 103, but short ball there once again, Carey has been able to hit that ball, and it was going straight to, I believe it was Ollie Pope there, who was fielding at leg slip. And like they are saying at the moment, Australia maybe not in a position to be able to declare just yet. So Alex Carey and also Steve Smith, they need to put together a nice partnership. The last wicket falling, it was actually Cameron Green. So Marcus Harris getting out on 3, Warner for 95. No little edge there from Alex Carey. It was extremely close to his bat, though. Then also Labuschagne going out. Travis Head, Cameron Green was the recent one to fall. And Mark Pryor was very harsh on Josh, as well as Sebastian there. And yeah, the worst thing is Josh Butley took a catch earlier today, but it was actually the bowler to bowl the no ball. Brilliant Yorker there from Ben Stokes. Well played, though, by Carey to be able to get down for it as well. Carey, sorry, I keep on saying Carey as well. Why did Cook retire? England gone downhill as well. Says that Nathan Sim there. I think he was just getting a little bit too old for himself, unfortunately, but it was a good delivery. He had to dig that one out of the pitch there, Alex Carey, if he didn't want to not get bowled. It might have been cleaning up leg stump, might have been missing, but definitely had to play it. Now, Ben Stokes' final ball of the session, ladies and gentlemen. What are we going to get to see from Ben Stokes? Can we see a wicket here? Do you think KP was treated badly by England as well? Says Kevin, I probably don't know enough for the full story to be able to comment completely on it, unfortunately, there. But now it is going to be Ben Stokes bounce the ducks under Alex Carey. That's going to be the end of session 1 of day 2, ladies and gentlemen. England have been able to pick up 3 wickets, and it is Australia sitting 302 for 5 after 116 overs. But nonetheless, we will be back very soon, ladies and gentlemen. Why you didn't do live stream, Hamish? I miss it badly as well. I see coding there. Why you did live stream, Hamish? Are we talking about for the yesterday coding? So we did actually do all 3 sessions. If we are talking about that as well, and also the BBL, they didn't actually have any BBL, so I wasn't able to do that. The next game for the BBL is going to be on Sunday for that one as well. At the moment, Australia sitting in a good position here. We'll update that scoreboard, and they are sitting on 302. 4-5 in the end. Ben Stokes, he has picked up the most wickets out of anyone. 2 wickets for himself. Joe Root also getting 1, and then there was the earlier wicket for it was Stuart Broad and also Ollie Robinson as well. Cheers for the decision. Aim is so happy with the 3 wickets as well. Says Sebastian there on the 10 out of 10 out of 10 as well. So nonetheless, we are going to be back for the next session. Maybe this could be the session that breaks the game open for the English, or it may be another session where Australia just are able to bat out for the rest of it as well. But anyone who is new to the channel, and also I didn't got notification yesterday, I missed it as well, says Coding. So yeah, we were live for all 3 of the sessions, and we will be doing the same for today as well. So if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe while I'm back. Waited 20 or so minutes, just find out the men's isn't on TV. Oh, the men's isn't on TV. That is a bit of a shame that they don't have the Super Smash. Is it on Spark Sport? But anyway, I'm bye, Hamish. Until next time. So we will be back at 7:35. So that is half an hour's time, 30 minutes, and then we will be back for the next one. But thank you all very much for tuning in. We may have a George. I'm hoping, fingers crossed. I will message him after this one. But thank you all very much for tuning in, and I will see you all in 30 minutes time for the next session of the Ash